You're live!
The Bogdanovich syndrome.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
There's two types of people in this world, Bogdanoviches and Seacrests. Come on, man. Come on, you. That's good. All right, I'm warning you guys ahead of time. It's going to be one today. It's going to be one.
Meaning we have a lot of things to cover?
Oh, I mean, not that. No, just the stuff we are covering.
You've got a lot of gas?
That's what... See, he gets it. 3, 2, 1. GoNintendo Podcast, webisode 1027, the Ivysaur Podcast. Mom Brain, can you tell us about Ivysaur, please?
I can. Oh, Percy. There you are, all curled up like a little shrimp. Ivysaur. The more sunlight Ivysaur bathes in, the more strength wells up within it, allowing the bud on its back to grow larger. 3 feet tall, 28 pounds, male and female. The category is seed. Abilities include Overgrow, which powers up grass-type moves when the Pokemon's HP is low. And that's all I have in the Pokemon section this week.
Thanks, Mom Brain. I appreciate it.
Bulbasaur becomes Ivysaur? Is that the deal?
You got it,
This
baby.
is for the audience.
Yes. I appreciate that
You're
do
asking
that.
all the hard-hitting questions, still.
Okay. It's good to know for those out there who did not know this, or I would think it would be good to know. I know, so I wouldn't have to know.
This is the perfect time to talk about it, too, because it's like the beginning of Pokemon, how things
The
started all
oranges,
those
the
years ago.
oranges.
The oranges.
I understand.
Yes.
The beginnings. I didn't realize that's. I realized, but others might not have realized that that's how the numbering goes. You'd think it would be the first 3 Pokemon that you choose from.
Yes.
Charmander, which we all know that's one of them, and then so and it goes on like from there. So you'd think that those would be the first 3, but apparently it goes in evolutions, which I could have told you, which is great.
Which I could have told you, and I did just tell you.
Everyone believed that, right? Of course, I was so confident.
I don't understand why you say that. Why wouldn't we? Right now, hold on. I'm so sorry. We're live. Come join us. I was going to complain about X because of some stupid crap, and I'll explain to you what it is in just a moment. Okay, so, well, let me do this first. Mom Brain is here. Hi, Mom Brain. How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you want to talk about it or no?
I went to a funeral this morning for a colleague and friend of mine, and it was beautiful and lovely. And I went with colleagues who I love, and it was nice to be surrounded by. But it was kind of sad. She was young, and so just kind of melancholy a little bit. But she gave us a beautiful day, I think. And
this is the start of a string of beautiful days in Jersey, man.
Yeah.
The weather is looking all kinds of nice if you like warmer weather.
Here's a little thing I didn't even know. So she was just an incredible woman, and her casket was a basket. Like, it was a casket shaped, beautiful, like woven basket. It was beautiful, and it was just such a her thing. Like, I could so see her being like, see, like, death isn't like scary or like dark. Like, it can be beautiful and lovely. Like, it was just such a I didn't know you could do that, and it was absolutely beautiful. So but just lots of things to be grateful for and people to appreciate, but also, like I said, a little bit melancholy. So if you're so inclined, if you could do just a little nice deed sometime today or in the near future for Carla, I think she would love that.
There you go. Do Michaels is here. How are you doing?
Ooh, I can't complain after that.
Nikki Hill is not here, but we speak his name.
We speak your name.
Josh Grobot is here, and we speak your name. Josh, how you doing?
I'm here to grace you with my presence.
Any news? Hanging, banging? What you playing? What's going on? Okay.
Did you know you can play Tetris for free on Tetris.com?
I did know that. I wasn't playing Tetris this week, but I was playing a puzzle game that I've never played.
Sure, whatever.
Oh, thank you. Okay, well then, George is here. George, how are you doing?
Well, George,
Why
no.
don't you ask George?
How you doing, George?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. I came from a wedding today, actually.
Oh, tell us
Yeah.
about it.
Wow.
Lemon and Lime got married at the Sprite wedding, the Sprite
Wow.
family.
Wow.
That sounds beautiful.
I sat on the groom side, which is the Lime side, obviously.
I can't even imagine all the delicious lime-related food that was at this wedding. It must have been a real treat for the senses.
Yeah, it was really good. And they did the electric slide, except they called it the electric lime.
Wow.
I wish there was footage from this wedding. It sounds amazing.
It was.
SD says hello. Yeah, let me say hello to Discord. SD says hello, crew. Just here for a few minutes going to see the Gundam movie. Yes, we went to the movies last night not to see the Gundam movie, which I believe is called, please, my knowledge of Gundam is lacking, but I believe it's called Hathaway. And I saw the poster for it last night, and the poster was gorgeous. So I hope you enjoy the movie.
Gundam. That's a good poster, is what he said.
SD, Guy Bones, Radical Defect, Ice Dilbert, Tall Show with my favorite picture of me, Roth, Drake, 10th Division, Gecko Kitsune, E17 Pet. Yes, Ice Dilbert. I was talking to Mom Brain about that the other day. Hello, Burn and Cheese. Ice Dilbert has a picture of Minute Maid Lemonade, which has Rhea Ripley on the front. I
Yeah.
may not be watching wrestling anymore because of its, well, whatever. You know, I miss it dearly, but I'm not watching. But I still have a fondness for it. And I, of course, have a fondness for Rhea Ripley. So pointed that out when we were in the
You're going to drink that lemonade?
freezer
then?
section. I don't drink
Too many calories.
calories. Yes. I just had this conversation with my parents because my dad, we went and saw them for Mother's Day, and my dad was like, we got lots of milk, and I was like, I don't really drink milk anymore because it's too many calories. And he's like, oh, but it's fresh milk. I was like, I appreciate it, I want it, but
But
it's
holidays are the day that you usually kind of do your thing.
I
right?
mean, I let up a little bit, yeah, but like I didn't want to like go extra crazy. We had my mom for Mother's Day. We're always like, what do you want to eat? Anything. There's the wedding right there. I still put a picture of it. The Sprite wedding.
Wow.
We always ask my mom, what do you want for Mother's Day to eat? We're like, we'll get whatever you want. And she's like, okay. Well, do you guys want pizza? And we're like, no, not what we want, what you want. And she's like, well, is everyone okay with? And we're like, oh, we can't stress this enough. It's literally whatever you want. And she was like, I want Burger King. And we're like, fine, what do you want from Burger King? And she's like, I want a what? Impossible Whopper. So we're like, okay. So we all got stuff from Burger King. We haven't had Burger King in forever, but we got like, they're doing the Mandalorian thing right now.
Oh,
which
cool.
is like
Did you get the? Yeah, I saw that.
Imperial Ranch Tots, and
Yeah.
they got the Grogu milkshake, whatever it is. The tots were fine. I had
Did you get any toys or anything?
no, because I don't even. Do they have toys?
I
So
think
was
there's
it-
a happy or a kid's meal?
It wasn't exactly a kid's meal.
No, like the stuff that they're offering. The bulk of the stuff that they're offering is just a meal for anybody. It's not like a kids meal thing. But
For
the,
man-sized DeLoreans.
that's right. The Grogu drink I thought was really good. It was basically like a cookies and cream milkshake. It was very good. But you
Sounds
know,
good.
a milkshake is an ungodly amount of calories, and it has milk in it. So that's where I committed my like the ranch tots and the milkshake. That's where I like unloaded or went crazy on my calories with, and then I'm not going to throw like another glass of milk on top of that.
So
but
what was the what's a ranch tot?
that's all it is. Like
It's like a tater tot with ranch flavor. Or,
yes.
Oh, so you're not even dipping it in ranch. It's
That-
like
it
already
had,
pre-flavored.
It had
Garlic.
garlic butter dipping sauce, but I'm not a butter fan, so I didn't use it. My sister did, and she really liked it, but she didn't like the tots in general. So I don't know.
Not a butter fan. I'm sure I must have known that at some point, but I can't believe it hasn't stuck with me.
like-
Who doesn't like butter besides you? I've never heard of that.
butter. it's not like I'm like, ew, butter, gross, but like I don't like butter like most people do. So like if there's too much
Especially
butter,
as a connoisseur of bread, like talk about a pairing, like peanut
Yeah.
butter and chocolate, bread and butter. Like it doesn't get any more iconic than that
like I can do toast, and I love toast, and I love buttered toast
with butter on it
but not like, you
because
know.
the butter melts. It's a texture thing. You don't like
No,
the-
it's not a texture thing. It's just like butter for me is like too overpowering, like oily overpowering. I don't know. Like like a little bit of butter, salted butter is fine. I can do that on everything. But like garlic butter dipping sauce for me is too oily, too greasy, too heavy, and it's just too much. Like
I'm not faulting
too
you for
much
not
for-
trying their dipping sauce. I mean, that probably has no
I
butter
think
in it.
Nintendo said it was like Papa John's.
That's what I was feeling. Like I
Yeah.
even feel like when you say a creamy, garlicky butter sauce from a fast food joint, I'm thinking exactly that. So okay, interesting. So you'll eat it.
Yeah, I'm not anti-butter.
But you're not gonna be. You could eat a piece of bread just as it
Yeah,
is
if we're
and be
going to
fine.
like Cheesecake Factory and they put the bread out on the table, I'm all about the bread, but I'm not going to put butter on it or really jelly or anything. I'll what, you know, you go to a diner for breakfast, I'm not going to put butter or like that's this is probably Jersey sacrilege, but when you go to a diner in Jersey for breakfast and they give you toast, that toast has like 8 times the amount of butter I would want on it. When it comes out, it's like dripping
they
and soaked.
pre-butter it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
and
then
I'm
you
like,
put the butter sides together.
and I'm like, that's too much for me. I just feel like I'm eating butter with a little bit of toast, and that I can't. It's not like I'm skeeved out or anything. It's not a texture thing. It's just too much. I don't like it. But yeah, I'm okay with butter. Just not. I don't like it nearly as much as most people do.
So when you were a child and people used to put those buttercup flowers up to your chin,
No yellow.
it wouldn't be yellow on the chin. Okay.
I know people did that. It was never done to me. When I was a child,
Really?
the two big
The
things.
beard got in the way.
Mama had a baby and its head popped off.
What?
Mama had a baby and its head popped off.
No, the two big
Oh.
things when I was a kid were blow the grass whistle, you know, that thing,
That's one of my favorite
and
things.
smoke the whatever it was, you know, make it, you blow out the whatever inside the reed and it looks like you're smoking a cigarette.
I don't think I ever did that.
I didn't do that either, but that sounds familiar. It sounds like something.
I don't know what it is, but yeah, some plant where it was like you put it up to your mouth and you blow into it and the whatever comes out the end and it's like, oh, smoking a cigarette.
Did anybody ever do the dandelion pee down your arm?
Yes, I've had that done.
Yeah.
Yes. Had many wow, I still many a yellowed arm from that. Yes. I originally said I was going to talk about X, and I'll talk about it very quickly. I had to go in and do the post for the podcast manually. When X was Twitter and wasn't run by Elon Musk, their API allowed us to create a button on the website where when I wanted to do a tweet, I would just click the button and it would auto-generate the tweet and send it out. Then when Elon took over, eventually it was like, you can only do 50 tweets a day in a 24-hour period. And sometimes that didn't fit for GoNintendo. We would have a few more stories in that. So I'd have to go in manually and do them. And I was like, oh, that sucks. And then Elon changed it to 20 a day, which is impossible for GoNintendo. So what I was doing was I would manually do the tweets and let the staff use the button to automate it. So their pool of 20 was usually fine for them. And I would do manually and it wouldn't be a worry. Well, now Elon changed it again this past week or so to 0. Now you literally cannot do it with the API. You have to pay to do it. So now every tweet has to be done manually. So we removed the button from the back end of the site because it's useless now. So that just shows
you can still do what you're doing. It's going to be more work for you, but you're not paying them.
I am not paying them. No. Will it get to that point? Probably not, because that would just mean somebody goes on Twitter and to put a tweet there, you would have to pay for every tweet you do, which is not going to happen. But any other way that he can nickel and dime people, that is what they're looking to do.
So this is a lot more work for you then.
So for not really for me, only because I've been doing it for a while now. On my laptop or my desktop, I have 4 tabs open all the time. I have GoNintendo, my email, Twitter, and Threads. And for Twitter and Threads, I would go in manually and put up every single post I did. So I've been doing it for a while. And it was annoying because I used to use the button. It was great because I would literally just post the story and then on GoNintendo's backend, click one more button and it did everything, which is how we have it for Facebook. I click one thing and it sends the whole thing to Facebook and I don't have to do anything. But now, yes, I have to post the story on GoNintendo, open the story in a new page, copy the headline, put that on Twitter, copy the link, put that on Twitter, put in an image because sometimes the auto-populated image doesn't work. Put that on Twitter, send that out. Then I copy all of that, go over to Threads and do that as one thing on Threads. So it is, it takes like 30 seconds,
steps.
but it's extra steps. And I wanted to do that so that the people that were doing news on the site could use the automated button so they didn't have to do that nonsense. But now
They have to
do it. So Quince was doing it today. So if you saw any news on GoNintendo today, it was Quince going in there manually doing it because that's just the way it is. So yeah, annoying, but whatever.
So, and there's no way, I mean, you need to keep using X, right? You can't just stop using it. I mean, you reach a lot more people by using it. So I guess you gotta do it.
To not get too much into the weeds, or what did I say? How the sausage is made. Yes, I would love nothing more than for GoNintendo to have nothing to do with X at all. I do not want to be a part of X. I don't want to be involved in it. But for how the sausage is made, GoNintendo's biggest traffic by far comes from X. It is not even close. As far as, outside of people coming directly to the website, X has an insane reach. Like just the other, like in a week's worth of posts on GoNintendo, when it comes to X, it's like 2 million, 3 million impressions a week just through X alone. Great, Roth. So yes, unfortunately, X is very important to GoNintendo for reach. Threads is not anywhere near as good, but I will say it is making strides recently for us organically. That's the only way I ever do anything is organically. I put my stuff out there. If you find it, great. And I hope you spread the word because I don't like advertising. So Threads in the last 6 months or so has been getting some traction enough to the point where I was like, oh, that's eyebrow raising, but still, 10 times less than what X is doing. So it sucks. So my options, but I don't pay for premium on X and I never will. So none of my money's going there. I wish I didn't have to use it. So, in the future, it would be lovely for me to be like, GoNintendo, it doesn't support X or Facebook or any of that. And it's through you guys because it would have to be, it'd be like pay a subscription to GoNintendo, and it'd be like $1 if everybody paid $1 a month to come to GoNintendo.
So
there'd be a certain amount of audience we could hit where it'd be like, if 2% of our audience did this every month, that would be enough for me to make a living off of. But that's not going to happen. So it's not going to happen.
So if it came down, like,
hey, Fluffernutter,
this is unlikely because it sounds insane, and people would leave Twitter in droves or X in droves. But like, if he made it so you had to pay no matter what, would you pay because it's such a big thing for GoNintendo, or would you be like, I'm out?
I'm out. Yeah, to my own detriment, I would be out. Yes, I am. He is not getting my money. I already don't like what he gets from me, but it is what it is right now. But yes, and again, that would never happen because a social media site where you have to pay to make posts, like, that'd be insane. There'd be no reason to foster an audience there. People would just go somewhere else. You could argue you build up an audience over decades, and then at some point you're like, okay, let's see if we can milk some people, and then you'd be like, we'll lose 99% of the audience, but if this 1% sticks around and they all pay $10 a month, then okay, because you could make a decent amount of money depending on your audience. But yes, no. Elon is crazy and insane, in my opinion. But I don't even think he would be that insane to be like, now every tweet you have to pay. Like, that would be nuts. So, but yeah, it sucks and it is what it is. But the mark, another way to mark the downfall of Twitter as the years go on since Elon took over.
And we should make clear that when you say you hate advertising, you mean just for GoNintendo and for your benefit.
Oh,
because you'll watch 20 commercials in a row, full blast volume, and wonder why I'm like, why don't you mute the TV? And you're like, what? You don't like commercials?
I don't wonder why you're like that, because I know most people are like that. But yes, it doesn't. I don't like personal advertising. I'm not one to go out there and promote my stuff because I think my promotion is my stuff, like my posts. So I put them out there. they'll organically find an audience, and the audience, if they like it, will come back for more, which is how GoNintendo has always operated for over 20 years. And that's the way it works. And could I get a bigger audience by advertising? Sure, because that's how advertising works. But that personally makes me feel gross, so I don't do it. And I'm more than happy with what I have. And long story short, this is the whole history of GoNintendo. I can make a lot more money if I did things like a normal person, but I don't do them because it doesn't sit right with me. So that's the end of it. I could have gambling ads and crypto ads and AI ads and all that stuff, and those opportunities roll in all the time, but I'm not doing it, and I will never do it because I don't like it and it doesn't sit right with me. And I could advertise GoNintendo, but I won't because it doesn't sit right with me. And I'm not telling you all this to be like, I'm better than everybody or you should worship me. It's just I'm giving you a window into GoNintendo, at least that part of it and how it works. And I'm very regimented about it. And Mom Brain will tell you, I have many times had like existential crisis over advertising and opportunities and things that companies wanted me to do and how good they would have been monetarily. But I can also tell you 100% of the time I have turned those things down because they don't sit right with me.
my blessing.
Yes, I talked to my. Well, really, even if you said yes, I would still probably not do it because it wouldn't sit right with me. But that's the way it works. As he says, where do we deliver the 69 gold RMC statue? That's right. All my money's going to a gold statue of myself in the front yard. I'll make sure we send pictures when that's finished up. But anyway, you guys that are listening to this, be it live or afterwards, or you guys that visit the site or join the Patreon or wherever, however you support us, you're the lifeblood of the site. You make what I do possible, and that has always been the case, and I greatly appreciate it. And I don't like the advertising on the site, and I never have, and that's not a reflection of the advertiser we're working with. To tell you the truth, the people that we have representing us now, I would argue, are the best ones we've ever had. They are very good. They're very receptive to my pushback. They're very receptive when I say no. They're like, just letting you know, you would make this much or could make this much more. And I'm like, I appreciate it. And I know that's your job, but no. And they don't push back anymore after that. So really, they've been fantastic to work with. Playwire has been really, really good. Honestly, I mean that. The best I've worked with. But I still don't like advertising on the site. I wish it could be. We had a couple of years there that were advertising free thanks to Nicholas. They were our sole sponsor, and they wanted to sponsor us for 2 years straight for a flat fee where it was no advertising other than when they had a game coming out, we would put up a banner for it, and that was it. And that was phenomenal, and I will forever be grateful to them for that. It was a lovely deal, but that's like once in a lifetime kind of deal. Especially, even then, that was a crazy deal, but especially now, that kind of stuff doesn't happen. So other than that, that's the way the internet works. And as everybody else knows, websites nowadays don't get the money they used to, and advertising doesn't pay like it used to, and people don't visit websites like they used to. No, who goes to websites anymore, right? Like nobody really goes to websites. Maybe like Reddit.
Not me.
Social. I get that reference. People go to Facebook, but they're usually on the app. Yeah, people don't really go to name a website you guys go to outside of Reddit. Yeah, Google something.
I do for work.
Oh yeah, that doesn't count. But people don't go to websites anymore, and Google is especially hurting people now because people just type in their Google and you used to get a link that would give you an answer. Now you have Google AI doing its BS. So, for example, my support of advertising, which Mom Brain will attest to, when you go to Google and their AI spits out something that's wrong, most of the time or half the time, whatever, I still click the drop down to get the links that the information is giving you, just to double check stuff, but also to click the links to give those people their clicks so they can make their 0.3 of a cent off of me, because I respect it, because that's the business I'm in. So I want to make sure they get their click, because people aren't doing that anymore. Google already cut into people's or website returns so much just because how Google operated, but now it's crazy worse because it is Google AI stuff. But Daily Mail, yes, we all go to Daily Mail, Roth. Every once in a while, I'll end up on Daily Mail, not because I'm going to their site to look for something, but there'll be some like crazy headline where it's like, I'm trying to think of a really crazy headline. Baby steers car down street to deliver his own brother. And I'll be like, what? And it takes me to Daily Mail. I'm like, all right, this makes sense now. Or Sprite wedding, you're right. But anyway, holy crap.
Is that like the UK's version of National Enquirer or something?
They're not. I want to give them more credit than that, but they're bad. They're not like, they're very sensationalist, but National Enquirer is like Bat Boy and what.
Right.
They're not doing that kind of
Pregnant
stuff. But
man gives birth. That's a fact.
but
That's a fact.
whatever. That's a whole rant I
There's
didn't mean to go into.
In her hands.
We got other stuff to talk about. Deux, this will relate to something you're going to talk about later today.
Cuckoo.
You're a man of the internet as far as seeing some things being discussed when it comes to gaming. Have you caught the
Nudes.
discussion around Mixtape?
I haven't caught the discussion. No, I've read my fair share of comments whenever some mixtape stuff.
So then you've
comes
caught
up.
the discussion.
And boy, people are very mean. But it was the comments, so I figured that was just par for the course.
Well, that's all related to it. So let me get you into the Mixtape debacle because it's gaming and we're going to talk about it. And it relates to me too today, which I didn't know was going to happen.
Here we go.
So Mixtape came out. It's made by Beethoven and Dinosaur. They also made The Artful Escape in 2021.
It's a great name, by the way.
Beethoven and Dinosaur.
It's great.
Cool name.
I like it.
Artful Escape, which was also, I believe, an award-winning game. I know it was very critically acclaimed back then. But Beethoven and Dinosaur, their new game is Mixtape. And it is published by Annapurna Interactive, which, is a branch of Annapurna Pictures, I believe.
Sure.
And okay, so Mixtape, as soon as it was, so Mixtape has been in the works for a very long time and got delayed a few times. And I've known about this game forever, but believe it or not, there's a portion of the gaming audience that doesn't follow games like Mixtape, and that's fine. But they also think games like Mixtape shouldn't exist because
Not a game.
it's not a game. It's woke. I don't know what makes it woke because you played the game. But
Jesus. Like it takes place in a time when wokeness wasn't even a thing. Like play it and pretend you were back then.
Yeah.
If you hate wokeness. What's going on?
But it's a woke game because these people decided it's a woke game, not knowing anything about the game. But anyway, Mixtape came out, caused a whole bunch of controversy. And because as I mentioned in recent podcasts, there's the whole thing of games just come out now and people decide they hate them and they're woke. And even if they're not woke, they want to pretend they're woke, like they did with Saros and made up the story and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So Mixtape comes out, and then the whole controversy is real nice indie game you got there, except it's not really an indie game because it's from Annapurna Interactive, and they're blah, 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 blah. So
Okay.
here's the explanation. Here's the whole thing. Mixtape is made by Beethoven and Dinosaur, which I would say is 100% an indie developer. Small team, art house games, whatever. They were published by I don't want to say a huge publisher, but a big publisher, Annapurna Interactive, which I didn't know until this week because of all this stuff that's happening. Larry Ellison, the Oracle guy, his daughter, Megan, is the one who does Annapurna Interactive. And people
So
are
that was true. I saw people
that is
crapping
true.
all over them. And
that is true. I didn't know that. I am not a fan of Larry Ellison. I do not support him. Obviously, yes, his daughter is able to do Annapurna Interactive because of money from her father. I get it. I don't like it. I 100% am with people
She started
on that.
Annapurna Interactive, or
I don't know that she
she's-
started it, but she's the head of Annapurna Interactive. But obviously, with your father footing the bill, your father also has say in what's going on at the company. So there is a movement within Annapurna Interactive to go to spin off the company. They wanted to get out from underneath the umbrella of the Ellisons. So they were looking for a way to get out, and all the staff were all about this, and they were going to talk to other companies to see what they could do to continue the independent spirit of Annapurna. And then Megan Ellison poo-pooed that and put the kibosh on it and was like, no, we're not doing that. So in 2024, much of, if not all of the staff at Annapurna left because they were like, we don't like that. We want to move out from under this umbrella. So Annapurna continued and they got new employees, and that's where they are now. So all that, I'm with everybody that's like, I don't like the Ellisons. There's nepotism here. I'm not saying that like some multi-billionaire can't have a child who uses money from their parent to start a company, but that company can't do good things. Like, sure, that company could do good things, but I still understand being apprehensive about the father being basically the overseer of it all. So if that makes you uncomfortable, hello, no blades, no bows, and you don't want to support Annapurna Interactive, 100%, I get it. I understand it. Yes, it makes total sense to me. But the real problem is that is being used as a bad faith argument by the people who hate woke stuff to be like, this is why we shouldn't support Mixtape. They don't really care about any of that.
I was gonna,
stuff. Or the majority of them don't really care
wouldn't
about
it
any
be
of
the
that
woke
stuff.
people that wouldn't be down with the Ellisons and all that?
Yes,
like, that's.
But their thing is basically, as you know, and I've seen in the comments, it's like this game's woke and this isn't a game because it's not shooting people or sports. You know, it's a narrative adventure, and this shouldn't even count as a game. So they're pretending like this indie company isn't really indie. The indie company still is 100% indie, but they have a deal with a publisher that has ties that maybe you don't like, and that's fine. But again, this is a bad faith argument from these people because we know the majority of them, or I believe the majority of them, don't really feel this way. They just don't like the game, and they think the game is woke and they don't want the game to get attention. So that's really what's going on here. If there's someone out there who doesn't like the game and doesn't want to support it because they don't like the ties to the Ellisons and Annapurna, again, I got no problem with that. I completely understand it. But if you're going to tell me that's what's really going on with these people, I'd say that's a bad faith argument. And, I'm not just saying it's bad faith because I feel that way. I went in and I've done some extensive research because of this topic, because I was like, let me go on social media and do something I never do. So this is anecdotal based on a few, I'm going to say less than 100 profiles I went to, but a lot of profiles where I was like, let me do my own research and see what other messages these people are posting. So, somebody's like Annapurna, Ellison's, not really indie company, all that. I'm like, okay, let me go see what your other arguments or posts are on social media. And it's all, red pilled, manosphere, all that stuff. And I'm like, this is not surprising to me at all. Ball maxing.
Oh.
That was crazy
because
to learn about ball maxing.
I was like,
I've been doing it my whole life, but I didn't realize I had a term.
You guys are wasting your time. You could be ball maxing right now.
I imagine these people were going to be disingenuous with their argument, and literally every single one I clicked on gave me results that made me feel like they're being disingenuous because they had Soros talk or other manosphere stuff, or like girls sports is bad and trans women in sports shouldn't be there, and all that stuff. And I'm like, yes, all this makes sense. So I'm sorry, but I don't believe your argument is genuine. And again, literally every profile I clicked on and I wasn't like, well, let me scroll for pages to find out. It was like, let me click their profile and right here. Yeah. It was like instant. So that's my very small research pool, but literally everyone I researched came up like that. So take that for what is will. I believe it's a bad faith argument for most people. And then that, as I see Radical Defect is saying, let me see here. Yes, there's a lot of people out there who are like, all these outlets that are talking about this game are paid for their coverage of this game. I can tell you, I don't personally believe that to be true. I can tell you 100% for myself, it wasn't true. I was not paid to talk about Mixtape. I was not paid to review Mixtape well. I was not paid to cover Mixtape in any way. Anything you've seen about Mixtape from GoNintendo was of my own volition and accord, and not coerced by anyone at Annapurna or Beethoven and Dinosaur.
I have a question.
Sure.
So, like, when you are a researcher and you're like presenting your research, you have to disclose any potential conflicts of interest, right? Or any of your, what is the word I'm thinking of?
That's it.
All right. I am a member of a board of education, and I have to do a personal financial disclosure to verify and prove that, like, I'm not making money in some way off of the school district or vendors that serve the, whatever. Do you say, like, I was given this game?
I have to.
You have to.
I have to say that.
By who?
It's law.
So that was my question. Like,
it is a law. Yes.
I can't imagine, though, that's like upheld on the internet very well.
Is it enforced by like the people? Some publishers and developers will make it very clear every single time. They're like, remember, you have to say this. And they're like, you can just put this disclosure message and this counts or anything like that. But even if they don't, it is the law. Like 100% it is the law.
It would be morally and ethically wrong.
Well, yeah, but
to not do that.
World, that doesn't exist.
Right. But like, but there's a difference between, well, I guess maybe there isn't anymore. What is ethical and what is the law? And I imagine that somebody would have to jump through a good amount of hoops to like bring that to fruition. But yeah, I guess it just so all of those people who are claiming like, oh, you were paid for this or whatever, like you should potentially be able to prove that.
Prove what?
That they did or that they were or were not paid.
That doesn't matter. You're looking at this like these people are looking for facts and proof. That doesn't matter. Like you could go to articles and look at that stuff and see it. And you could go to like mission statements on websites like IGN and they have whole pages devoted to all that stuff. They're not doing any of that. They don't
want
care.
To muddy the waters. They want to PO somebody.
And even if you told them and we're like, look, here it says right, it doesn't matter. You're like you're coming at it from a good faith light when they're coming at it from a bad faith.
Exactly. Yeah.
So So
giving them a lot of credit, basically.
So yes, again, I'm not gonna, I'd like to say I hope Annapurna Interactive doesn't pay anybody, and I hope Beethoven and Dinosaur hasn't paid anybody to give positive reviews or coverage in general of their games. They didn't do it for me. That's all I can tell you. I will say I don't believe they've done that for anybody else, but I can't speak factually because I don't know. But yes, this kind of argument also comes up all the time whenever somebody sees a review for a game that makes them upset because they either don't like the review, they're like paid or, whatever. It always comes up. So the only reason I found out about this Ellison stuff is because I'm not going to say who, but someone we know reached out and they were like, did you know that the Ellisons were tied to? And I was like, I did know this. And I was like, you found this out because of some red-pilled rabbit hole, didn't you? And they're like, yeah, that's how I found out about it. And I was like, oh, I'm nervous for you now. But whole different story. Because, of course, that's the only pipeline to get that stuff. You're only going to hear that stuff if you're being fed red-pilled stuff because that's where it was coming from. Or maybe you're lucky and some big outlet covers it and you learn about it that way. So I was like, what a nightmare. So I'm like, of course, everything I post about this game now, that's what the comments are going to be. But I don't really care about the comments and whatever. So fast forward to yesterday. We went to see a movie. I'm not paying attention to my phone. Get out of the movie. I'm looking at notifications. And, I can see certain notifications where it's like, I follow a whole bunch of companies, but I know when a company, based on what it says on the tweet or the thread or whatever, that they're directly referring to you or have mentioned you or shared something from you. And I saw something from Annapurna Interactive. And I was like, no, why does this look like this is linking to me? And I opened the tweet and it linked to me. And I was like, oh, God, no, why? So I saw a really cool story, or I thought it was a cool story yesterday. Kotaku had an interview with Beethoven and Dinosaur. And the game is full of licensed music. And whenever it comes to licensed content in games, sometimes that makes it harder for games to stay on digital storefronts, or sometimes it makes it harder to re-release a game later on because the license has lapsed and maybe music has to change. Kotaku did an interview with somebody at Annapurna, or somebody at Beethoven and Dinosaur, and we found out that the licenses for the music were paid in perpetuity. So that's really cool because then that means years down the line, you won't have to worry about this game will have the music reviewed or removed because the license was paid in perpetuity. So that won't happen. So that's really cool. So, you don't have to worry about Mixtape's going to be removed from the eShop because the licenses are gone and the game will have to come back with songs changed. Because as you know, the songs are crucial to the game. They are
the game.
An integral part of the game.
For me, they were the game.
The game was built around those songs in particular. Even the main character stresses how important the songs are. So it's extremely important that the music that this game uses is forever a part of that game. So I posted that up because I thought that was a cool little thing. I know, SD, talking about games in the first hour. So Annapurna put this on their X account. It said, "We heard some people say Mixtape would be delisted due to music licenses expiring. That was a lie. Have a great weekend, everyone." And they linked my post that says Mixtape song licenses were paid in perpetuity, so don't expect licensing issues to lead to a delisting. And I was like, I mean, it's great.
Why is that bad? Wouldn't that be good? It gets eyes on GoNintendo.
It's great for me,
but
as
now
far
it looks
as
like you were paid to like write that article.
Well, no, I don't even care about that. It's just like, this happens to me all the time. It's like, hey, here's a hot button issue. Time to bring up GoNintendo in a conversation. And I'm like, why me? Like, why not like to Kotaku? It's their interview, which I sourced and credited and all that stuff. But
what's wrong
you
with
know, Kotaku's interview didn't have that as the title. I read Kotaku's interview and I thought that snippet in particular was very interesting. So that's why my title is that. And now it's like, I'm like very thankful for the coverage. It's great. But I'm like, out of all the topics and on top of this, it's got to be about this hot button thing. So I go here. Let me put this in perspective. I posted a story, 1,100 likes, 3.9 million impressions on this one tweet from GoNintendo. And I'm like, So I was like, let me go read some of the comments. I'm not going to name names, but it's like, for those of you who are shocked or surprised how a quote indie game studio could afford money needed to pay for these perpetual licenses for the big 90s songs, reminder, fifth richest man, Larry Ellison's daughter, Megan Ellison, owns the publishing company that published Mixtape. And then they link to a whole bunch of stuff. Here's a funny one that says Toby Fox was able to compose his music in a cave with a box of scraps. So that's just a funny joke. And I like that. Here you go. Somebody, which doesn't get nearly enough attention, somebody that worked on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater commented on this and said, we spent $30,000 for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater soundtrack. Trying to put in perspective, hey, idiots. I shouldn't say that. Hey, people. Sometimes these licenses don't cost as much as you think they do. This was $30,000 for the soundtrack and Tony Hawk. And some people will be like, that has a whole bunch of no-name bands. There's a lot of bands in there that people know and are very popular. Sure, maybe there's not Beyonce or Taylor Swift, but there's notable bands in there. So, and then somebody else says, so industry giants like Rockstar, the maker of one of the most profitable franchises, GTA, loses music due to expired licenses, but this, quote, indie studio can hold on to music indefinitely. What's that? The indie studio is funded by one of the wealthiest men in the world? This game is a plant. And then after that, that's what it is. This is a plant. The reviewer's a plant. The publisher's a plant. The game is a plant. The game is a psyop for the industry. And I'm like, ugh. And it's just over and over and over. Like, I'm not lying.
What a shame.
Not even $1 billion, decades-old established studio like Rockstar or Konami could pull this off. Nice indie game. You got it's all the red pill mantra over and over and over again.
Deal, you know, like Rockstar didn't make the same
kind
of in perpetuity deal.
There's no nuance. You're trying to use nuance and trying to understand.
My mistake, of course.
That's the problem. We don't do that.
Yeah, we need to. Yeah. Oh my God. And like, I don't know, man.
So yeah, again, I don't know the individual cases of the band, the song, who owns the song. Like, you know, sure. Like, let's say The Cure has a song in Mixtape.
Spoiler.
The Cure gets a cut of money whenever it pops up anywhere, and I don't know what record publisher owns the right.
Way, they deserve it because it is their work and they deserve to be.
Yeah,
paid
I'm not
for
saying
it.
they don't.
I'm not saying that you are. I just think that people forget.
But I'm trying to stress: The Cure has a song in the game. I don't know how many fingers are in that pot of we own this piece, we own this piece, but more importantly, I don't know how much it costs to license that song in perpetuity. You might hear a song is licensed in perpetuity and be like, that's got to be $20 million, where it could be $50,000 or $75,000 or $1 million. I don't know. But whatever number you're randomly coming up with and being like, Rockstar can't afford to do this, and this indie company can. It's like you're being disingenuous because you're applying numbers here that you didn't even bother to research for, and we don't know publicly.
But also, do you know Rockstar couldn't afford it, or was it just
That's another great argument.
like a choice that they were like, look, we would rather not spend money on that.
Yeah.
So what if we have to?
If we save money here, we can put it there, whatever it is with that. And at the same time, there's 30 plus songs, maybe like in Mixtape. There's like,
hey, Rick Filet,
there's like 30 songs on each radio station in GTA. You know what I mean? Like,
and
there's way more.
And to be fair with GTA, yes, songs have been removed for licensing, but there's also been the vast majority of songs that are still there and have not had issues. So, like, you know, rights and properties and stuff change hands a whole bunch of times, and Rockstar may have set up deals at some point that they thought were rock solid. And then, you know, 10 years pass and some rights change hands behind the scenes, and the new company's like, we want $20 million for the song. And Rockstar's like, you know, in the grand scheme of things, we're not going to pay that because we don't need to. So they opt to remove the song, whatever their decision-making process is. But again, so now 3.9 million impressions on this. And, you know, and nobody's really dragging my name through the mud. Do it all you want. I really don't care because I feel very confident in what I've done. But the point is, I'm like, the biggest hot button issue in gaming right now is this mixtape situation with all the horrible, I would say a majority of horrible, disingenuous people for how I feel. And I'm like, now I'm like front and center at all of it. And I'm like, oh, God damn it. How does this keep happening? But I'm okay. Everything's okay.
Just ride that wave, baby.
So that's it. That's the part of the fun I had this week. But there is more fun for me. And by fun, I mean not fun. This is also game related, by the way. An interview came out with Concerned Ape, the creator of Stardew Valley. And it was with Game Informer. And it was about a whole bunch of things. But there was a little bit in there about how, I don't even know how to phrase this because I don't want to make anybody upset. There was a portion in the interview that the creator of Stardew Valley discussed, I guess, an idea that he had that was never meant to be taken seriously and never seriously considered about exploring infidelity mechanics in Stardew Valley, like enhancing them, because you can, I believe, I don't play Stardew, so I don't know the specifics, but there's something about, can you get divorced in the game? I think you can like file a piece of paperwork at the whatever, and something happens.
Maybe. I don't remember. Yeah,
so I'm ignorant on that.
The opportunity to maybe not.
But I'm ignorant on that part. And then in his Game Informer interview, the developer was saying, like, again, I guess facetiously, are never considered really as something they would actually implement in the game. They talked about how like it would be interesting for moral mechanics where like you could cheat on somebody in the game, and then if other people in the town found out, they would treat you differently. And he's like, there's something I'm paraphrasing. He's like, you know, there's something interesting to the mechanic. He's like, morally, I'm against all that stuff, obviously, but as a game mechanic, there is something to it.
Morally, I would hope that many game developers are against many things.
Well, again, I'm saying this outright because I want to say, like, he's not being like infidelity and cheating. Awesome. I want that in my game. But again, this was part of a Game Informer interview where he was, to my understanding, he was saying this, to my understanding now, he was saying this facetiously, never intended to actually explore it in the game or never intended to actually implement it, but it was a thought that he had at some point. So I read the Game Informer interview, but I only found out about the Game Informer interview through another website I'm not going to say, and it's a website I trust. So I read their coverage. Then I was like, as I always do, I'm like, let me go do my due diligence, and I read the Game Informer interview. I was like, this is interesting. So I put together a post about it, put it out there. That's that. I'm like, there you go. Day and a half goes by, get a notification on my phone, and it's Concerned Ape talking to me directly. And I'm like, and I don't remember exactly. You know what? I could tell you exactly what they said because their stuff is still public. So, by the way, I have no ill will against Concerned Ape. I have no problem with the man. He's created an amazing game. No hate, no ill will. He hasn't replied much since then. Yes. Wait a minute. Did he? We might have an update in real time here. This would be great. Sorry, X is trying desperately to get me to pay for premium when I'm trying to click on something. Okay.
I see. Yeah.
Sorry, I want to make sure I get everything factually correct. Okay, so I posted that story, and he replied to it, and he said, "Nope, fake clickbait." And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, what's going on? What did I do? What happened? So I go through his timeline, and I see like every story that not every story, but whatever. There's certain stories where he replied to about this infidelity thing where he's like, nope, not true. Nope, clickbait. Nope, that's false information. And mine was one of them. And I'm like, oh, what happened? So instantly, like immediately I got the notification. I went in and I privated this story and deleted all the socials because I never want to cause trouble. I never want to get anything wrong. I never, like, if I make a mistake, I own up to it. And I was like, let me remove all this stuff because I don't care about traffic. I want to get it right. And then if there's a correction or something I need to do, I can put out a news story. So I replied to him instantly. I'm talking about first minute I replied to him after I removed everything. And I said, I'm so sorry. I'll remove the post. I didn't mean to mislead at all. Would you be able to DM so I can see where you felt misled? I truly didn't intend to. And I want to make sure I get things right. Very sorry once again. So I went through and read based on all of his other stuff. He says that in the Game Informer interview, it was very clear that he was saying this like jokingly and never intended to implement it in the game. And my article didn't say that he was intending to implement it in the game. It said he considered implementing it in the game. And never said it was going to actually happen. Just a consideration at some point in general, but I guess he didn't like the way that I phrased it. And he was replying to other outlets on social media saying roughly the same thing. He replied to them in different ways. But I reread the Game Informer interview, and I'm like, it really doesn't come across to me that he was like, this is a joke. I am not intending to do this. It read to me like it was something he considered, but doesn't.
That was a joke,
but
man.
probably isn't going to do. But it was an interesting idea. Like he was exploring the mechanics in the conversation, which I thought was interesting. So I removed the post and I'm like, God almighty, like one of the biggest developers out there who has a rabid fan base, and he calls out like 7 different posts and I'm one of them. I'm like, what did I do? Why me? So I go to Google and I'm like, how much bigger is my story than everybody else's? And I go to Google and I type in, like Stardew infidelity. And it's like, boop, number 1. And I'm like, oh, God, like, why? So eventually, which I only saw today, he got in touch with me, or he replied publicly again. He said, it's all right. If you didn't intend to mislead, then no worries. This whole idea that I'm planning on adding cheating is based on some out of context misinterpreted quotes from a recent interview I did. If you read the actual interview, which I did, it's clear that I'm not adding that. And like, my article didn't say that he was intending on adding it. It was like saying it was a conversation that he had.
It was almost like he didn't read your article.
Whatever. It's a big misunderstanding all around. He feels I misunderstood him. I feel he misunderstood me. He didn't like the title. That's all I need to hear. That's fine. But like, here's my only real issue. How is it clickbait is my question. Yes, SD. Here's my real question is, can't you just get in touch with me like privately? DM me right away. I'll answer, or like email me. Like, why do you have to publicly blast me? Like, I don't understand why that's the go-to right away. I can understand him reading these headlines and being like, that's not what I thought at all, and getting upset. But why not reach out? Why publicly go this route? How about, okay, publicly, that's fine. Publicly reply and be like, hey, can we talk about this? I feel like that article or that headline doesn't really construe what I was trying to say. And right away, I'll be like, sure. But no, it's never any of that. It's always like, blast. I apologize. Can we talk about this? No, we can't talk about this unless it's public. And then it is what it is. So
I think a lot of and I could be wrong, but I think a lot of people have preconceived notions about what these outlets are and who's running them. So,
which is fair.
so if they see, I don't know who the other 6 people he put on blast were, but like if you look at those names, I'm sure that, you know, under an umbrella of game journalism, you're in the same class as them. But like he doesn't know that you aren't a disingenuous person. Like he, you know, he probably read the headline and was like, and probably didn't dive deep and blasted you along with the IGN and whoever, like big names that you'd expect to be.
Yeah, I'm not
like,
going to name who, but like especially the outlet I originally found out about the interview from, I would say is a very respected outlet, like someone I would actually, so an outlet I do trust to do due diligence with this stuff. And they also ended up posting another article later saying that they caught the discourse on social media and they would never intend to mislead or anything like that. So they shared a new story about it. And so they were also caught off guard because they covered the story in the same way that I did and felt they did so accurately, and Concerned Ape felt differently. But yes, I get that there's a lot of disingenuous outlets out there that cover things in ways only to get attention and clicks, and I get that that's frustrating. But and I guess you know, I can understand people defaulting to that, to being like, these people are just out for clicks. And you know, when it's your name and your coverage and your content and your game and whatever you're trying to do, you just see a whole bunch of headlines where you're like, that's not what I meant. And it can be very upsetting. So rather than like taking the time to email or private message on social media and be like, hey, could we fix this? Or hey, could we address this? Or hey, can we talk about this? Just publicly throw out tweets and be like, no, not true, clickbait. I get that knee-jerk reaction. It's just upsetting on my end because I am someone who works, I would say, so hard to make sure I don't do things that way. So when I do get it wrong, I would just like a little grace where you give me the benefit of the doubt. But again, I understand that there's a decent amount of outlets out there that do not cover things with integrity. So it sucks for the ones that try to.
I don't want to take any one side because there's no sides really, but like I just as a Joe Schro who reads articles, I don't trust anybody's article these days. Anybody. I don't care who like, and maybe that's wrong of me, and I got to do more research by reading the stories and digging in a little bit more. But like when I see a headline, I don't care who wrote it. I'm like, this is probably clickbait. Like they wrote it to get people to go to the site. I honestly
think that's a good way to approach any article off the bat. Take it from the stance of, let me actually read and see before I just take the headline for what it's saying or take the outlet for what it's worth. Let me dive in. I think that is how you should start with anything you're reading, just as a baseline. But then, if like you are the thing that's being written about, again, I understand it being frustrating, but I don't know. I don't want to say like handle it more professionally, because that sounds high and mighty, and I don't feel like that. But like I feel like there's got to be somewhere
diplomatically or
somewhere between what they did,
less personally, or I mean, look, I understand.
How about you put out the blanket, hey, that's not what I meant. Could we talk about this, or could we fix this? Put that out publicly where it's just whatever. And then it's like, okay, there's no tone here. There's an honest approach to being like, can we fix this? And then if they reply or don't reply, you know, the outlet, they reply negatively or they don't reply at all, give them like a 48-hour or a 24-hour grace period, and then be like, okay, publicly say something like, okay, what's going on here?
But like also it could have been just like things on the internet spread like wildfire. So like, was it just a first attempt at like squashing as much as you can as quickly and efficiently as possible?
And that's fine. But like you can reply in a way that makes that clear without being so biting and lacking in nuance. You can say, that's not what I meant in the interview. Here's what I meant.
Also,
rather than just, nope, clickbait.
Infidelity is a terrible thing, right? And also it's not like somebody was like, hey, the guy who made Stardew Valley wants you to like
cheat,
kill babies, or like,
I mean, no, I'm okay with that.
You know what I mean? Like it's I wouldn't want to be misunderstood by anybody under any circumstances, and it's not really something that's like incredibly terrible and scandalous, which is why I might argue like you could have taken a little more time and
Well-
like talk to people in a little bit like
It's his baby, though.
yeah, I get it.
I understand the reaction of being upset, but also, like, cooler heads need to prevail here. Like, we can get to a place where you learn, okay, this can be fixed this way with these outlets, and this can't be fixed this way with these outlets, and call out everybody, but have some grace for some and not for others. Like, I don't, there's no easy solution here. Basically, it's like him saying, hey, you misunderstood what I was saying, and that's wrong. And me being like, hey, you misunderstood what I was saying, and that's wrong. And also, I didn't have any ill intention, and I never, like, I'm not with the other group here. Like, you gotta.
Well, it sounds like Concerned Ape was satisfied with the original interview
Yes.
because he gave the interview and he clearly knows what he meant when
Yes.
he said these things. But is it a coincidence that you and 6 other outlets read it a certain way and were like, it's like the way the
So-
article is with the interview, it sounds like he's saying
So
this.
some may have clickbaited it, sure, but like I in particular, again, the outlet where I first found out about the interview from, they are not someone who they're not an outlet I would say clickbaits things, and they read it exactly how I read it. And again, I didn't just base my post off of their summary of the interview. I went and read the actual interview too to make sure, and I was like, yeah, this I agree, or
Maybe if there was
I never even considered it any other way. I wasn't like, I always do my due diligence just to make sure, but I was just, this was a double check, and I was like, yeah. And then I put together my post. I never read it in a way where I was like, that's not what he meant, or that's not what he's
maybe
saying.
if you
or,
heard audio
Yes,
of it and
yes.
you could hear the tone of his voice, you'd be like, okay, this he clearly is
certainly-
joking about this or whatever.
it seems like he did the interview speaking. So like, yeah, well, he knows how he said it, and like the interview, and like laughs and whatever. So in his mind, it came off very much as like, I don't actually intend to ever do this, or this isn't being explored, but it's an interesting idea nonetheless. So yeah, whatever. It's just a big misunderstanding all around, and it sucks. And I just hate that in this week it was like, would you like millions of new eyes on you, and they're all gonna be mad at you? It's like, no, I'm not. I don't personally subscribe to all publicity is good publicity. Certainly, because you know these kind of things, when they get traction, it's like, this guy sucks and he's stupid, and that's like 1 million impressions and 400,000 likes, and it's like, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that, and that's not my intention, and that gets like 5 likes and 25 views, and I'm like, oh, why? Because a lot of people are disingenuous with this reaction, because they're like, I like the hate, we hate this guy, we hate this thing, and I don't care what happens afterwards. And
Yeah.
it is what it is. But that's enough of all that stuff. That's what it's like running GoNintendo, everybody. That stuff happens every week. It just so happens that this week it was one of the biggest creators out there, and also the hottest controversy right now in gaming. So I was so blessed this week. But let's have a little fun with something else game related. No, not finally. We have something I haven't done in a while. I'm not going to name the outlet, but we have a little bit of clickbait.
Oh,
Masturbators.
nice.
We got one. I'm again not naming the outlet, but I will read you the title and I'll let you guys have at it. Title: Nintendo is changing store name to something way worse. So, do you have any news, or did you catch any of the news about what they're changing the store name to?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so the store name is My Nintendo Store, or My Nintendo. That's the name of the store. So again, the article is Nintendo is changing store name to something way worse. That is not me. That's their exact title. So the name of the store was the My Nintendo Store. Would you care to guess what they renamed it to? And again, it's way worse, according to this headline. Radical Defect says, I know this story.
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, it's pretty bad where it was.
I'm gonna say it's My Nintendo Store Plus.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one. Super My Nintendo Store.
Oh, great thinking. Also in line with how Nintendo usually name things. So one more time, Nintendo is changing store name to something way worse. Nintendo has changed the name of the My Nintendo store to the.
My Nintendo 60 store.
Ooh, that's
It's
really
pretty good.
No, they're changing it to, or they changed it to the Nintendo store. That's it.
So it's better.
I would argue it's better. But let's say you don't like it. I'm going to say my famous line. Call me crazy, but I don't think that's way worse.
I don't think this is
I don't
news.
think it's way anything.
I don't think it's not.
So it is news in the sense that Nintendo is changing.
They changed the name is the news.
Yes.
Not it's worse. Like that's your editorializing, buddy. Like you think it's worse. It doesn't make it worse. That why not just like Nintendo change the name of the
Because
store?
people don't click that.
That's right.
Let's go see what I named it. I don't even remember. I can guarantee it's not clickbait.
Well, guess what? I can guarantee you it didn't get 3.9 million impressions
Oh,
because of the way you wrote it.
True.
Boar Master.
That's right. I got a comment on it. Nintendo. Here's
Boar meat cowboy.
Here's my
man.
title. Nintendo renaming
Cowboy.
Nintendo.
Boring.
Nintendo
Boring.
renaming.
Sorry.
My title is Nintendo renaming My Nintendo store.
Lord.
You got the boring sound clip here if you're gonna play it.
Josh, it's right there. It's Josh. It's Josh at the top.
No, it's not. I don't know what you mean. Josh is not a soundboard. Josh is a robot who does his own thing.
Gee, it sure is boring around
There
here.
you go. That's the soundboard clip. Josh talks when he wants to talk.
Boring.
So my title was Nintendo renaming My Nintendo store to Nintendo Store in multiple regions. That's
Boring.
the title.
That's great because now I don't even have to click on it. I mean,
There you
that's
go.
probably what
That's-
you don't want. But
No, that is my intention, to at least give you enough in the headline that you feel like you have some factual information. If you want to learn more, then you click the article. But I go opposite clickbait. I
Man,
had
that's
one.
great. I don't even have to click at all. I could dive in and find out why, but to be honest, who cares?
That's it. I'm trying to give you a headline that gives you the important fact. I had a title this week in a style that I don't really, or that I don't usually write.
I've got one for you, and it's just adding on to what you already have. So it's Nintendo changing name from this to this. Some say, what did he say? I already forgot. Oh, some say way worse. How about
Yes.
that? And that's actually true. Some do
There
say
you
that.
go. That's true. So I had a headline this week that in a style that I don't usually write one, because I was like, there's no way to really cram all of this into a title. I was like, I have lengthy titles sometimes because I want to get facts in there. But I had a title in a style I don't usually do because I wanted to like convey most of the story. So I had a story about how this one guy noticed that his Switch 2 Pro controller felt a little sticky in the thumbstick area, like it was a little
Gamer gun.
wasn't moving as smoothly as he thought it should. And he looked into it, and it turns out that the cap of the thumbstick had been like flaking off, and we don't know. I haven't heard about this anywhere else, so I don't know if this is an issue for other people or not. But he noticed that the cap was flaking off and falling down into like the ball of the thumbstick where it moves. So he opened up the controller and cleaned out the little flakes, and that's it. Everything works fine. So he's like, something to look out for.
But now his thumbstick looks like Buddy chewed it.
Well, no, it'd be like the underneath it's the underneath of the thumbstick, like falling. It's like a little cap that I don't know. Some sort of weird like temperature condition is causing this to flake, and it shouldn't. It doesn't seem like this is a widespread issue. This is literally the first I've heard of it. But it's like a whole detailed thing, and I went through his process and showed pictures of the flakes, and you can see how he opened up the controller in a whole video and all this stuff.
Show the flakes.
So
Give me
I
that
put
flake
together-
footage.
I put together a title that said, "Are your Switch 2 Pro controller thumbsticks feeling a bit sticky? If so, one player may have found out why." So I did that title because I'm like, this is too much to explain in one title. And I don't want this to come across as clickbait, because it's not a clickbait. It's like there's actual weird factual explanation, but it's way too much for a title. It's like underside of the thumb cap is grinding and it shouldn't. And according to the patent, it's this. It's like that's all too much. So I put together a title like that. And I was like, I didn't even want to look on Twitter to see like what people are saying about
sounds
this title.
baity.
But that's as much as it's going to get from me. And it's not meant to be clickbait. It's just like I can't fit all this into a title. I don't know what to write here. So switch to, because I don't want to make it seem like this is a widespread issue. It's like, I don't even know what to do. Like, you can hear him fumbling over it now, which is why I gave it the title I did. But that's as bad as it gets from me. So there you go. We did that. Okay. Mom Brain, did you know that you could join the GoNintendo Patreon?
For $1.
Thank you so much.
Worry, for $1. Many people have. Many people are doing it. Thank you for your support over there. What did I write about this week? Let me tell you. Our first non-game related thing. I wrote about Dungeon Crawler Carl because I have finished that book, and it is tied for first place with my favorite other book, which is The Raven Scholar. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. Crazy Colonel, there you go. I took your recommendation, read the book, greatly.
May I have a
enjoyed it.
moment?
Yeah.
a
Oh,
moment.
okay. Yes, definitely take your moment.
Listen, I would like to publicly, right now, express my undying love for Crazy Colonel. And I want to apologize for the way that I speak about Dungeon Crawler Carl. I really didn't like it, but I think I might have hurt your feelings in the way I expressed my dislike for it.
Why don't you speak to the general listener rather than just Colonel? Because I'm sure were other people out there who would feel the same way or did feel the same way.
Crazy Colonel, this is for you. Everyone who likes Dungeon Crawler Carl, I apologize if the way that I shared my dislike for the book hurt your feelings, because I know how my feelings would be hurt if someone spoke in a sassy way about something that I really liked.
I have to say, I was permission to speak freely.
Permission granted.
I was very I internally recoiled with how you responded to it, because it brought me back to the day you first walked into my parents' living room and saw me and Lube watching wrestling. And you were like, "You guys are watching wrestling? How could you?" And I was like, whoa. What is this opinion? I was like, why don't you give it a shot before you act like this? I was like, that's gross. To me, that's gross. I can't stand that kind of approach to anything. And Mom Brain gave it a try because she's a wonderful person and she became a fan.
When I was a kid,
I
so
know,
it wasn't
but
like...
I'm not telling a made-up story. That was the story. So yes, Mom Brain's reaction to Dungeon Crawler Carl, as soon as I mentioned it last week, I believe it was just something along the lines of like, ugh, and then you said something else, but I was like, oh man, really giving it to the DCC fandom out there, which is quite huge.
Yeah, I'm in the minority.
But
I got it from the library yesterday. Actually.
Oh, did you?
It came in. So
did you start reading it or no?
No, because I've
Gotta
got this
finish
800-page book that I'm just getting into now. I've just made it to like page 100. So
no rush. I'm just really interested to see what you think of it. So yes, I finished it. I really liked it. I do not like the book's humor, and I that remained a constant throughout the whole book. But personally, for me, in the first book, the humor really threw me off in the beginning because I didn't like it. Then I became accustomed to it, and then I feel like the humor became less of it going on, and that may or may not be true. But I can tell you, as the book went on, I became more into what was actually happening and the story and the mission. And I was like really into that. So that may have just taken my focus away from how I didn't like the humor, but the humor was never so bad where I was like, I can't read this. At first I was like, I really don't like this humor, but I liked everything that was going on outside of that. But as the book went on, boy, I really liked it. And it was by far the easiest read I've ever had. I've not read a ton of books. There are descriptions, but they're like 1 or 2 sentences. And I'm like, I got everything I need here. And much of the book is this a word? Oh, conversational, I'll say. Like Carl is talking to his cat, which I won't get into the details, or other people there. Or Carl is like just talking about what he's seeing in the dungeon and figuring things out. It's like the descriptions and the movement of the plot is done through things that actually move the plot. It's not like you go into this room and things are explained in great detail and then like plot happens. It's like everything. It feels like everything that's in the book is purposeful in the sense that it moves things along. And I really like it was really like it has a great momentum to it. And it's not like I wouldn't say it's fast paced. It just really feels like it keeps a good click. And my dad is reading the book, and I was talking to him, and my dad has read a lot of books. And I asked my dad how he's liking it, and he said he's really enjoying it. And my dad said to me, I've read a lot of books, but I don't know that I've ever read a book that moves like this one. And I'm like, okay, so what I was feeling also applies to people who've read a lot of books. So there's something to it where it just, the momentum.
I have
to
read
it.
a lot of books,
Yes.
and I did not like that book. So
That's not what we're talking about.
okay.
You can't get away from that. Can you talk about what I am talking about?
The way that it moves.
Yeah.
I don't think I found anything. I think I was grateful for the way that it moved because I was grateful to be done with it.
So your distaste of the book in general is too much for you to you can't see the
No,
forest through the
I
trees.
didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I just I guess I didn't see that dynamic. I mean, I guess maybe because it was maybe
See,
because
and
I
I
was
see it like-
expecting it to move like a game.
It's like why? Well, I don't think it moves like a game. I think it just moves. Like I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I hope you do too. I
So
understand
it's
why.
not a video game but like you can equate it to like a real
It's
life
like if
video
you
game.
combined Running Man with a video game.
Okay.
But it is not a video game. It's a reality show, basically. It's like I mean, how much do you
It's-
care about spoilers? It's not really a big spoiler.
It's like the Running Man.
It's like Running Man, and people watch it. Yeah.
People will watch Carl
But-
crawl through the dungeon.
and
There's
other people.
cameras in the dungeon that are showing these people
yes,
this.
but Carl and all the other dungeon crawlers have access to like video game style
There's
stuff,
a little bit
like
of a Hunger Games vibe to it.
like an unlimited inventory. Like Carl can pick things up and put them into an inventory that he can't see. And he can bring up menus by thinking about menus. Like a menu will come up and he can scroll through like, what do I have in my bag? Or what do I have? Like, what potions do I have? And stuff like that. So he has access
Is it a
to
magical dungeon? Like, how's he able to do that?
it's
Or
well
is
they-
that explained at all? Or?
Yes.
to a degree, yes.
All right. Well, I
Yeah.
don't need. I'm gonna read it. So
Yeah, but the bones of it all is it's Running Man, and Carl's inside this thing with millions of other dungeon crawlers that are trying to survive it.
So it is a deadly game.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
As far as plenty of people die. Yeah, people are dying all the time. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And yeah, like I said, it's tied for my favorite book, The Raven Scholar. And The Raven Scholar, like hands down, The Raven Scholar is the better written book. Like there's no question about that at all. But Raven Scholar has a lot of my kryptonite, which is very long explanations of everything.
Which
but
is what
again-
you need.
Again, well, see, in Dungeon Crawler Carl, I feel like I understand, know, and can see everything. And it's never explained to the degree that annoys me, or it's explained in a way that I'm totally fine with. And whatever the case is, I don't
Well,
know.
You're a gamer.
But
And in your defense, like Deux and I both really enjoy fantasy as a genre, so which I feel like has a lot of description.
Yeah.
So it may
usually.
just be something we are inclined
but
towards.
again, I want to stress, I gave Dungeon Crawler Carl and The Raven Scholar both an 8.5. I liked them exactly the same, even with Dungeon Crawler Carl's bad humor and The Raven Scholars, I would say for me, overly long descriptions of everything. But still, I can put that aside and take the story for what it is. And the story was very enjoyable in both of those books. Like the characters are more well developed in The Raven Scholar, but I think
everything about the
in
Raven Scholar
particular,
is great.
I find Carl to be much more relatable than anybody in The Raven Scholar. Like
Yeah.
he is an everyman that I feel like they do a very
Like
good
an
job of
everyman's pizza?
explaining, like an everyman. Like he's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's something about a normal guy being in the fantastical setting of Dungeon Crawler that really clicked for me.
He's a normal guy, and he's also, but he's a good guy.
Yes.
You know, like he.
Yes,
Yeah.
I really like that. And like that's what I feel like that's something that works for me really well, because like whenever I read like Raven Scholar or something like that, I feel like there are characters that I like and things that resonate with me, but I never feel like they are real people. Carl feels like a real person to me, whereas Raven Scholar people feel like characters. And that's not bad or wrong.
I just finished a book that was like very highly rated and recommended, and all of the characters were terrible. Like they were bad people, and it was bad.
If you don't have one person to
Right? Like
root for, then
and
it
you
makes
finish
it tough.
the book and you're like, no one redeemed themselves. Like everybody was bad.
Hey, Blood Ocean, and I went on to Beartown next because my cousin wanted me to read Beartown, and I don't think there could be a worse book to pivot to because this is like descriptions out the
So
ass.
bear's fur was
And it's
brown.
like, you know, I don't remember a lot of characters' names, so I'm just going to make up a name.
Bearman?
There's no Bearman. Beartown is where they live. There's no Bearman. Funnily enough, the guy in Obsession is named Bear, or they call him Bear.
Mayor Bear.
His name is Baron.
Oh, is it? Yeah. So in this book, let's just say Gary. They're describing Gary, and they're like, Gary had red hair. Red hair so fiery that it was hard to control him. The people saw his red hair and they thought, what a feisty attitude. And I'm like, oh, he's got red hair. I get it. He's got red hair. And I was like, am I crazy? It was a whole paragraph about his red hair. And that's all I knew about this guy. And I'm like, okay, he's got red hair.
How everybody in Beartown feels about red-haired Gary.
So I am 10.
Gary.
I don't know what Beartown's going to be about because I checked. I read last night.
Hair.
I was like, red hair. I was like, how many chapters are in Beartown? And it said there's 50 chapters. I am done with 10 chapters now. There's been nothing in this book. I don't know what this book is about other than hockey. They talk about Beartown. Everybody in Beartown loves hockey, and they really want the next generation of kids to become the next big team for the town because that's all that matters to the town is hockey. And this is going to be the team that woos people in. And in these 10 chapters, all I have heard about is how everyone likes hockey. And here is what has actually happened in the book. People have woken up in the morning. Some of them went to where they play hockey and some of them went to school. I kid you not. That is the only thing that they have done in 10 chapters so far. We just got to school in the morning and one guy got to the place where they play hockey. That is all that's happened. Everything else in the chapter has been describing how everyone loves hockey and what all the people in the town are like. They have done nothing at all. This one guy has been described as wide and old so many times that I'm like, I get it. The guy's old and fat. Get it.
Wide old.
And they keep talking about how he knows he's going to be fired. And I'm like, okay, I get it. We're 10 chapters in and he still has not been fired. And again, all he's done is woken up and driven to the building and he has not been fired yet. And I'm like, this is driving me insane.
They're like, when are these hockey players going to make out already?
No one is. No one is.
Said heterosexual hockey? Are you kidding me? No, thank you.
Radical Defect says the real joke is he never gets fired. Well, so far he hasn't even gotten fired. But I'm like, I don't know what this book is going to be about. Like, are they ever going to play hockey? Are we ever going to get to a hockey game? I don't care about hockey, but I'm like, nothing has happened in this book to a degree that I don't know what's going to happen.
Hockey to happen because you're so bored.
Well, just anything. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I find out some guy likes a girl now.
Okay, all right. Vice President Beauty.
somebody in the Discord made a joke about that. They said, I'm talking about Dungeon Crawler Carl, and they said, sounds okay, but he's not a vending machine, which was about the other anime. So, yes. So, Beartown, I will read it to the end, but so far, I'm like,
that one doesn't sound too good the way you're describing it. For me, it doesn't.
Well, so I read Dungeon Crawler Carl, which was like brisk and moving and like moving as in it had momentum. And I was like, what a easy read. Like that was really enjoyable. And I go to Beartown and it's like crash into a wall. And I'm like, oh,
you said you were really looking forward to every night reading another chapter of Dungeon Crawler Carl because you were enjoying it.
It was the first time that's ever happened to me. It happened a bit with Raven Scholar, but I still had that feeling of, gotta read. And now with Beartown, I'm like, this is the feeling I had before I started reading again. This is it, where I'm like,
you wouldn't consider DNFing it, right?
No.
Okay.
So like last night, I was like having a nice time because it was a busy week and I had a little time to relax. And I'm like, I can sit down and relax and just whatever. And I was like, I gotta read a chapter of that damn book. And I was like, let me just read it now. And I laid down on the couch and read the book. And I was like, I'm done. I'm like done. So we'll see. Maybe it'll change.
You would hate the book I'm reading right now. It's like it's all character stuff. Almost nothing has happened in the first 100 pages, but like I've learned so much about the characters, and I really enjoy that. And the way it's done, it's told through like tiny little backstories of things that have happened to them in the past. That
So at least things happened.
yeah, and like it's like I don't know if you'd like it better than this Beartown, I think, but like I don't think you'd like it.
I don't care
because
if
it's very like character, and I'm interested now to start Dungeon Crawler Carl for myself, because you said you love the character of him, and yet they don't dwell on like him as far as characterizing.
they don't
him.
dwell. You get bits
So-
and pieces, but they don't dwell. Yeah.
So I'm interested to see that. But this book I'm reading, which is from the 80s, so it's older, but like Lonesome Dove is what it's called. It's a Western, and I'm getting a lot of like Game of Thrones type vibes because it's very character oriented and it's very like using experiences that the characters have had to kind of tell the audience what they're about. And it's very similar. And I was like, man, I wonder if George R. R. Martin read Lonesome Dove and took some of these traits.
Totally inspired by it.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. But I like a lot of that character stuff. I like descriptions. I like fantasy. And
Well,
I
if
like,
things are being described about like past actions and things that happen to the character, I'm cool with that. That's great as long as I'm getting something. But I swear to God, Beartown so far is not like that. You're
I believe you.
You're just hearing about how somebody likes hockey. Like everybody likes hockey in the town.
It doesn't sound like it'd be a book for me. Just the way you're even talking about it.
Well, if it changes, I will let you know. I'll have 7 more chapters under my belt by next week, and maybe somebody will get to a hockey game because nobody's there yet. And
you can look and see how many hours you have left in the book, right?
Let's take a look right now. I read on the Kindle app, so let's find out together. 7 minutes left in this chapter, so very excited about that chapter coming up. I have 7 hours left in this book.
No.
I'm on page 53 of 422. There you go. And so far, well, damn it, it's not a hockey joke. I can't do it. But it's a goal joke. It's a goalie joke. I was going to say nobody's called anybody the Wall so far. Nothing gets by this guy.
Was that not hockey?
I thought it was soccer. Was it hockey?
I thought it was hockey.
You know the commercial.
I think that's hockey.
I thought so.
Was it for a cereal?
To be honest, I don't remember. I thought it was a hockey commercial. I thought it was NHL commercial. That'd be funny.
I feel like that's a hockey
They
player. There's a
call
hockey player.
him the Wall.
I feel like I see Brick.
Nothing gets
Right?
by this guy. Well, now we got to figure this out. They call him the Wall.
So
This
it was
is
a
not
cereal
it.
commercial. You were right.
That's not the commercial. Oh, is this it?
I have lots of. They call him the Wall. I mean, nothing gets by.
It's soccer.
Oh, you're right.
Now, fakes to the
That's
left.
funny. In my head, it's hockey. Like I remember hockey. Maybe I'm thinking of Mighty Ducks or something.
It was soccer, but they both have goalies.
If you know what, if you had said Frosted Flakes and I knew Tony the Tiger was involved, I might have thought soccer just because it's probably easier to animate him on a soccer field.
Yes. I believe he's in a hockey commercial too, to tell you the truth.
Probably.
Also, I
He
should
did it all, that guy.
I should have been checking my
tiger.
texts. Hello, Mom. I see you texted me at 4:04. I apologize.
Hello,
My
Mom.
mom texted me and said,
Well, hello.
yes, you can get divorced in Stardew.
She
Oh.
is our Stardew.
She's a
correspondent.
Stardew.
She's living
That's
the
right. Thank
fantasy.
you, Mom. I apologize for not looking until now, but living the fantasy. Right? But anyway, Dungeon
Hello,
Crawler
John.
Carl, I
Hello.
look forward to hearing your opinion. And thank you, Crazy Colonel. Moving on. I also wrote about Mother's Day gaming. How apropos. Hello, Mikey Vids. Good to see you.
Your dad's new thing is when he sees anything AI that he thinks might be AI.
Not even.
Like it could be anything. If he doesn't like it, it's goddamn AI. And your mom, who's like the littlest, sweetest lady, she was like, he doesn't even know what AI is,
It's very
and
funny.
it was so
But he knows enough to hate it.
But now
That's
he's
good.
Now he's saying enough where it's like anything he doesn't like, he'll jokingly say goddamn AI. And I'm like, this is great. This is really fun. But he got like mad at the Echo, the Amazon Echo. It was like goddamn AI. And I'm like, it's not AI. Like, I get the sentiment. You're close. But I was like, that's close enough. I'll give you a pass. But then, whatever. Some commercial came on TV and he's like, goddamn AI. And it was nothing related to her. Mikey Vitt says, I want to read Lonesome Dove, hit Wild West City in New Jersey, play Red Dead Redemption 2, and bring Ticket to Ride Legacy to the table within a short time span to immerse myself in the West. Well, that's the way to do it, my friend. All right. Mother's Day gaming. Saw my mom for Mother's Day. We played a whole bunch of stuff. It's just like a who's who of stuff on the Switch Online. So Nintendo Classics and Super Nintendo Classics and all that stuff. GBA Classics, or Nintendo Classics GBA. You know what I'm getting at. So like Klonoa and Adventures of Lolo and Tetris and the game with the spinny bar on GBA. It's like Kururu, or
was kind of fun.
I like that game.
I played that for a few.
I played it a good amount at my parents' house on Mother's Day. I really do like that game. So just played a lot of retro stuff, and it was a blast. So I wrote about that. I also wrote about the return of Regular Show. Regular Show is back after 10 years with brand new episodes written by the same people, voiced by the same people. And we've seen so many times when shows come back.
Who got dentures? Which voice actor got dentures? Or
and you're like, it doesn't feel like it used to, or it's not right, or it doesn't. Yeah, it's just they missed the mark and they're trying to cash in on nostalgia. I am very happy to say that Regular Show still has it. It is as good as it used to be. Still laugh at it. Everything feels just like it used to. It's like they didn't skip a beat. It's fantastic. They even do something that I think is very great. So the end of Regular Show had a very definitive ending where, spoiler alert, one of the characters sacrifices himself and basically dies to save everybody else. And the new show starts with that character up in heaven and he's having a great time, but he watches tapes of his memories when he was alive, which is the old Regular Show episodes. But the tape gets busted and he goes on this whole crazy adventure and ends up finding that's a great gift. He ends up finding a whole box of tapes of memories that he had forgotten about. And he puts those tapes into VCR, and that's why the show is called The Lost Tapes. So the show's new episodes take place when he was still alive. So it's not that they're retconning anything and the character's alive again. It's just like, oh, here's all these memories I forgot. And that's how you get new episodes. So I think that's
Cool.
a great way of handling it. And then, so that's the first new episode where that's all explained. And then it goes right back into Regular Show. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. That Memories episode was great, but then you get to more Regular Show stuff. And basically, anybody that hasn't watched Regular Show here's what it's like. A very mundane thing happens, and Mordecai and Rigby try and solve it, and then a whole bunch of bat shovel crazy stuff happens to explain it. So the first real episode is, as usual, Benson. Everybody works at a park, and Benson, the guy who runs the park, is trying to get Mordecai and Rigby to do their work, and they never do it because they slack off. He wants them to carry trash from one part of the park to another. They are in a golf cart, and they end up flipping the golf cart and causing a whole bunch of mayhem. And Benson says, "You're not allowed to move this stuff with anything with wheels. You got to walk it because you guys cause too much trouble." So they're carrying bags of garbage. It's taking them forever. They throw one of the bags of garbage and it breaks open, and there's a pudding can or a pudding packet inside, a pudding cup. That's what they're called. And
Hey,
Rigby runs over to it right away and starts eating it. And Mordecai's like, "What are you doing?" And it's like, "It had the lid on it. It's fine." They find out that on the lid of the pudding, it says, "Turn in 500 lids and you can get a hoverboard." And they're like, "That's it. Hoverboards don't have wheels. This is how we can lift all the garbage." So they go around and get all these caps or pudding lids, take them to the building that's running the contest. And the guy running the contest says, "Oh no, we give you blueprints for a hoverboard, not a hoverboard." And they get pissed off at the guy, whatever. They end up building their own hoverboard, and it's ginormous. So they load it up with all the garbage. They have special suits that they're wearing because they're flying on this hoverboard, and they take off. So they take off, and it leaves, the hoverboard has all this weird stuff underneath it to make it fly. So when it takes off, it leaves these weird markings on the ground. The FBI sees this and thinks it's like, what do they call them? Crop circles. So they send basically fake Mulder and Scully to the park because they think aliens are there. And Mulder and Scully are like, oh, these are aliens, definitely. And they see Mordecai and Rigby in the air flying on his weird contraption dressed in these suits. And they're like, there's the aliens. I won't spoil what else happens, but the episode is so funny. And it was everything you want from regular show. It was pitch perfect. There's another episode. I was crying from laughing at it. Dude, you may have seen it. There's have you seen the competitions? It's like on ESPN 9. Like it's all the Ocho, I'm sorry, ESPN the Ocho, where it's people who have very sharp knives that cut ropes or they cut paper or they cut water bottles.
I have seen
and
that,
they have one hand behind their back and everything.
I have.
So that's what the episode is about. Mordecai and Rigby are obsessed with that, and it's called Blade Wars. And they draw. Clearly everybody on the show has watched these competitions because everybody they draw looks like they are from the competition exactly. Like it's got like a guy wearing a bandana with a beard that's got like rubber bands in it, and he's got a hand tied behind his back, and like it's perfect. It's perfect. And the whole episode is about that, and it's phenomenal. It's so good. But regular show's back. It's only been back for a week. Every episode I've seen has been great. It's just so great, and everybody sounds like they used to, and it's great. Mark Hamill's back voicing
No
Skips.
veneers screwing anybody's
No,
voice
Mark
over.
Hamill's still got it. You know, he's voice acting all the time, so he can do Skips. No problem. It's not like Skips is a crazy voice for him.
Who's Skips? Which one's he? Is he the
Skips is the giant white, I would say,
Like a Yeti?
Yeti? Sure. That skips everywhere. And it's Mark Hamill, but he sounds like this. He grumbles like this a lot. Yeah, it's great. Muscle Man and High Fives Ghost and Mordecai and Rigby, and everybody sounds great. Everybody, the humor's spot on. It's great. So if you didn't know, regular show is back, and if you were worried it wouldn't have the sauce, it's got the sauce. So go check it out. Great stuff. There's Skips right there. So I wrote about that. I also wrote about DLC. I asked people, what was the last piece of DLC you bought? Mine is Fortnite. What was the last piece of DLC you bought?
I'm pretty sure it just came to me now. It's got to be this, I think. Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, probably. A couple of years ago, I replayed
There you go.
Cyberpunk and got the DLC and was happy I did.
Because I was struggling to think of what DLC I last bought outside of Fortnite, because we buy Fortnite stuff pretty frequently. But as like just standalone DLC, I was like, maybe it was a Smash Brothers character. Maybe there's something else in between there that I bought, but I am struggling to remember. I know there was the DLC for Splatoon, but Nintendo sent me that, so that doesn't count. But
Didn't you? Well, you wouldn't have had to download it, I don't think. Aren't you going to play the new Super Mario Wonder stuff, or is that not?
Nintendo sent me a copy of it's not DLC though. Yeah, that's its own standalone.
Okay.
You can't get that on Switch. It's only on Switch too. So that's extra content. But yeah, that doesn't count.
But not technically DLC.
So a lot of people in the comments on the Patreon post were saying that I bought Switch 2 editions of games recently that have extra content, but you can't get that on Switch. So, but yeah, I was struggling to think of it because there's so much DLC all the time, but I don't really, outside of Fortnite, I don't really buy stuff often. So
Yeah, I got it was probably Cyberpunk was probably after this, but I got the Dead Island 2 like super bundle, so
Yeah.
I got all those DLCs when they came out.
Yeah. So yeah, I wrote about that. I also wrote about Doctor Who. So as you may know, Doctor Who, the Disney Plus run is over. The Disney deal is canceled. They ended that after the second season. Well, the second season ended. What's his face's run as the Doctor, and Disney was no longer doing the deal, and all fell apart. And the people that do Doctor Who was like, "Don't worry, Doctor Who won't end. We'll figure out what we're going to do." We still don't exactly know what the future of Doctor Who is as far as new Doctor Who will be the Doctor.
The new Who.
The new Who. We don't know all those details, but we did get the first piece of the puzzle, at least stateside, which is great. AMC Plus announced that they have acquired the licensing to air all the modern era Doctor Who, minus the Disney stuff, on AMC Plus. And I was like, okay, now I'm finally going to get AMC Plus regularly because I want to watch Doctor Who. So you would imagine that when brand new Doctor Who comes out, that AMC will at least have conversations about that, because I can't imagine AMC and the Doctor Who people are like, let's do a deal for the old stuff, and that's that. So whenever new Doctor Who comes out, and BBC releases that stuff in the UK and it airs wherever, now I would imagine that AMC will have conversations about like, hey, can we have that on AMC Plus, and what's the deal? So we'll see. Who knows? But it was the first piece of the puzzle, because we went almost a year not knowing what the hell was going to happen, especially in the States, because I was watching the beginning of the modern era of Doctor Who, which has the guy's name that I never remember. You know him.
I love that guy too. If it's the same guy you're thinking of,
I think you do. It's Eccleston, Ecclesian.
Oh, that guy, Christopher.
Yes, Christopher E.
Eccleston or something.
Yeah,
like
whatever.
That's
yes.
not the guy I was thinking of, but I like that guy
Christopher
too.
Eccleston. Thank you, Laxter.
David Tennant. That's the guy I really like.
Another Doctor Who person. Yes. But I began watching the modern era, which started with Christopher, and then all this Disney stuff fell apart, and the deal fell apart, and then the licensing fell apart. And I was watching the old episodes on HBO Max, and they yanked them right while I was watching them. I was like, oh crap, I can't watch them anymore. Now, June 11th, they will be on AMC Plus, so I can pick back up there, because I know I can watch them illegally, but I didn't want to do that. So I'll be picking back up there, because I said I had my qualms and issues with Doctor Who. It did a lot of things that I didn't like and things that I struggled to understand or appreciate, but there was still something at the core of Doctor Who that resonated with me, and I did really enjoy. So there was something about it that just did something for me. So I'm happy. At least one minor piece of the puzzle is back. I will be able to continue my journey with regular Doctor Who, one episode a week or something like that. I'm certainly going to take my time, but I'm happy that's happening. Eccleston is how I'm saying it, Drake. Okay. So that's really nice to see, and I hope it shows more momentum for the return of brand new Doctor Who, and we don't have to worry about that stateside. But again, it was so many months of not knowing what was going to happen. To have one little sliver there is nice, and then a little bit of hope for what comes next is great. So I wrote about that.
I mean, they're not going to stop making Doctor Who.
Well, they've stopped for now because they have to figure out the path forward. And I'm sure they will make more, certainly. But that doesn't answer the question of where it will air here. We still have that question. But again, one little piece of the puzzle is nice to have. So I wrote about that. And then I wrote about one last thing, and I'll let Mom Brain talk about it, because I have to pee and I'm tired of... I've talked enough. And I'm sorry, you've already heard about this. No spoilers, or as much as you can dodge.
Not from Mom Brain, though.
Not from Mom Brain. That's why I'm turning it over to her. We saw Obsession last night, the new horror movie. And Mom Brain, as I pee, I turn it over to you. As I get up to pee, I'm not peeing at the table.
Okay, so we went to see Obsession, and it's a horror movie.
Did you know anything going into it at all?
All I knew was from trailers, right? So it's basically this guy is has it bad for this girl, and he gets this tchotchke wishing stick thing that if you break it, you get one wish and your wish comes true. And so he does this, and what ensues is a rapid sprint towards insanity. So it was a phenomenal horror movie. It was really good at making you feel incredibly unsettled, and for the whole time, they never take their foot off the gas. They just consistently are applying pressure the whole time. There's really no comic relief, no I mean, there are some funny parts, but there's no rest stops along the way. You are just relentlessly scared, unsettled. There are some jump scares for sure that were whoa. There were things about the movie that I found that made it even more unsettling, but I don't want to give there were just little details about it that I don't want to give away. There was one thing, and if you're at all sensitive, I mean, obviously she becomes obsessed with him, right? The girl becomes obsessed with the guy and it becomes like, horrific. So obviously I don't think I'm spoiling anything by saying if you are at all sensitive to like domestic violence or, blood and gore, like this is not the movie for you, proceed with caution. But there was also another thing that happens like really on in the movie that like
It's the first thing that happens.
was very, very, very hard for me. And I had to close my eyes. And then it reoccurs a couple times in not such an overt way.
I mean, I think we could talk about it more in detail without spoiling. You want me to take it?
Well, my whole point is, yes, but my point is that what happened, like the thing that upset me was like, there are not too many more things in the world that make me more upset. And I didn't even remember that happened by the end of the movie because it was that like,
Oh, wow.
like I was telling my friend Kendra about it and I was like, oh, hold on, before you go see it, I want to make sure you know this.
Yeah, so let me navigate it. This isn't a spoiler. This is literally the first thing that happens in the movie. A cat dies. It is not a cat.
I don't like it.
It's not, but I want to stress, this is not a horror killing of a cat. Like
see
nobody
it-
murders the cat.
Right.
Nobody, like there's no blood and guts with the cat. A cat dies. That's it.
I still don't like it.
I don't like it either, but yeah, but it's
literally
I want to
leaned
stress.
across Droth and I because I had like my sweater and I leaned and it's like, what the fart, Rummy? And he
Like
was
I knew it was going to happen.
like I was so upset.
But I want to stress there are plenty of horror movies where animals get tortured or stabbed or shot or killed or in some sort of bloody, gruesome scene. That is not what happens here. It is just a dead cat. It is sad, certainly, and the cat does come into play later in the movie, but there's no, like, it is not a torture porn sort of thing for the cat.
It is something that I just so carefully guard myself against because it is just so. I just can't. I can't in any capacity.
But I
tolerate
just want to
any of
make
it.
sure it is stressed that it is not, the cat does not die in a way where the cat is abused.
It's interesting how some people are like this. I'm like this too, where I can watch a million movies where humans get everything happens to them bad, and like I'm just like, that was a good movie, but like a dog or a cat dies and I'm like, what is this, a documentary? This is terrible.
Because
turn
humans
it off.
know how bad we can be and what we can do, and we don't know what the hell pets know. So yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't like seeing a dead cat either, but I don't know how to say this. It was somewhat refreshing for a dead animal in a horror movie not to be dead from torture or abuse.
Right. Usually it's used as a, oh, here's the family
Yes.
dog, and then like for 30 minutes
Where's
you're like, when's the dog getting
Yeah,
killed
yeah,
by
yeah,
the
yeah.
crazy person? Because you know it's happening. They're gonna find it in the basement or the
Yeah.
bones of it, or it's strung
Yeah.
up somewhere. You're
So
right.
there you go. And there's the website, Does the Pet Die, I believe, or whatever. You can go that. Maybe it has
Yeah,
more
but
information.
You wouldn't even know to. I mean, I guess you just.
You go to that website before any
Yeah.
movie because you're that sensitive.
Yeah.
That's what that website
I
is
should
for.
do that.
But
I should do that too, because I always end up doing it once I see the animal, then I go straight, and then
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 they know that the audience doesn't like dead animals, so they'll.
Yeah.
But it is a trope. It's in there.
other than that, phenomenal.
It was a phenomenal.
phenomenal. Loved it. One of my favorite movies I have seen in a long time. I
And
will not forget this movie.
I did wake up to pee in the night and immediately was like, oh no, I thought of it. I thought of the movie. Like, just like, and that happened. It doesn't matter what scary movie it is. If I see a scary movie, I'm like, oh great. When I go to bed, when I wash my face and then I open my eyes to look in the mirror, I'm gonna think of it and like.
And if anything, that this movie makes you do that, you would make you feel that kind of stuff more.
Yeah.
Because I won't get into it, but it is a fantastic movie. All the critical praise you are hearing about this is well warranted. I would say not hyperbole at all, at least not for me. I was wowed. I cannot remember the last time a movie wowed me to this degree. Like, I loved Project Hail Mary. It was fantastic and a great movie. But like, this movie feels like something special. Like, it really feels like a new hallmark for horror movies, and even to some degree movies in general. It's just
Now, when you see
awesome.
stuff that you feel this way about, sometimes you're like, I'm gonna buy this if it comes out on
I'm
Blu-ray.
buying this.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna get
I
this.
said it last night on Patreon. I don't, and you know me, like, for me to buy a regular movie is very few and far between because they just don't resonate with me as like the one regular. Well, I have The Fifth Element, which is very important to me, and I have WandaVision because that is also really important to me. But Fifth Element is a regular movie. WandaVision is whatever. But as far as like wanting to own just a regular movie, yes, it's. I really don't ever do that, and I want to own this movie. Like that is, yes, it's that good. For me, it was that good. I really, really blew me away. Like, was buzzing after when the credits rolled. I was like, holy crap, that was like. And I'm never like this, and I'm not. This is not me telling you what to do, but this is one of the few times where I'll be like, if you can see a movie in the theater, go see this in the theater. Just
I
because
will not be seeing it again.
It makes
one time was plenty.
Just because like the grandiose aspect of seeing this in a theater combined with the atmosphere of it, I think will really heighten the experience. But it's going to be great no matter how you see it.
And I also think that there were a lot of like the way that things look does so much to contribute to the story, but it's not like costuming or like really good gore. It's just the way that things.
It is a very, very, very grounded horror movie for the most part. Yeah, it's as we're talking about before. There's plenty of horror movies where like you get to what's going on or you get a peek at what's happening and how things are explained, and you're like, oh, this is too like fantastical, or this is too off the mark, or seeing this thing ruined it for me. This movie does not have that. Like you're not going to be thrown for a huge loop or anything. There's certainly interesting things that happen, but there's nothing where you're like, oh, this is what they're doing. This stinks. It's so good. So good. And I also found out Mom Brain is apparently going to be too afraid to see Backrooms, which is another one I really want to see. And I've been hearing equally fantastic things about Backrooms.
Claustrophobia.
Like, but the back rooms are so big.
But it's your close.
Can you really not see back rooms? It's fine.
I can't.
I need somebody to see back rooms with me.
Where what was the one with the guy that is multiple personalities?
Split.
And they're like he has them captured somewhere. I can't.
Yeah, who's that star?
My favorite.
Who also played what?
Mr. Tumnus. I know,
yes,
and
Mr. Tumnus.
I have like this.
Wonder if that's a coincidence.
Terrible, like.
I need someone who played the world's worst. I was going to say person, but he's not a person. Creature.
Man, now I know why you didn't watch X-Men First Class.
That's right. I don't want to. I liked him. He was great in Split. I really liked Split.
Yeah, and I think it. So in the preview, like I told Raw Meat and like Droth in the car, I was like, I can feel like my heart clenching. Like I can feel the pain.
Both of them on the ride home were hurting. Which I've never seen before. It's great.
Like when we saw Blair Witch for the first time.
They talked about that on the ride home.
Because she's got a son who's a sophomore in high school, and he was like into watching horror, and her and her husband were like, well, we're gonna start you with the classics, and they did Blair Witch, and he was like, and she was like, it was groundbreaking. Like
you have to think it's real. You have to have the propaganda that made you think it was real.
Before the internet really was what it was.
At that time, that whole campaign really made the movie that much more enjoyable. Yeah.
I didn't know. I was the idiot who thought it was real. I mean, there were plenty of us,
I'm
sure,
but
like, I thought it was real when I was in the theater. So when I left, I was scared.
You're not the only one. They did so much to make you think that movie was real. They even did that like news report documentary before it came out. It was an hour long on TV to make people think this was real.
And they ruined the actors' careers because they had to like hide and stuff.
They died from the witch.
Exactly.
They got blared by the witch.
All right, that's enough of that. So go see that movie. Go watch regular show. Go read Dungeon Crawler, Carl. Support Doctor Who. Let's do news. Finally. This week sucked because of all the crap I got and all the crap I had to do. But it is what it is. So we had our financial Q&A, which sadly was pretty run-of-the-mill. No questions about bushes or shrubs or landscaping or any of that.
How are we supposed to know?
Well, one of us has to become an investor that gets to go to one of these things and then get called on, and then we can ask about that stuff. So let me see. I'm going to group all these together. Nintendo talked more about the difficult decision to raise the Switch 2 price. And we talked about this last week where we were talking about like how much money Nintendo makes on each system and all that stuff. And you were like, I don't believe them when they say all that stuff. And I was pushing back on all that.
Yes, you were.
In the Q&A, Nintendo went further to say that the price that they're raising the Switch to most likely is not enough to cover the losses that they're incurring. So they're stressing they don't want to raise it. They are raising it to try and offset some of the costs, but it's most likely not going to be enough to do what they're taking in as far as cost goes. So there's that.
Can you believe that?
Call me a fanboy, but I do believe Nintendo when it comes to this stuff. And again, they explained the decisions and why they're doing it. Again, they said the cost because of the cost for memory because of AI and all that stuff and tariff situation being unclear. And they said with the AI or with the memory chip stuff, they don't know how long it's going to go on for, but it certainly doesn't look like it's going to get any better anytime soon. So they're like, we're sorry, and there's a lot of uncertainties, and we don't like doing it, but this is
They
why
should
we're doing
just
it.
save money by firing the landscapers. They didn't get any landscaping questions this year. They clearly don't need the landscapers, and then we can have a Switch for regular price.
I mean, the landscaping was so damn good that somebody asked about it. So you got to be thinking they pay a pretty penny to get the landscaping
yeah,
done.
they had Edward Scissorhands landscaping.
Mini Shoot Adventures is on sale for $11.19 on the eShop. I just got a notification, so you get yourself a discount on that one right now.
It's worth it.
You know what? I will read this. Joe Shabadoo says, I want to say this is the first time Nintendo has ever had to apply an upward revision to their current flagship hardware. If not globally, then a first for North America, surely. Truly unprecedented times, but I look forward to the robust software incentives, big games and small games for the little hybrid that could and can and will. Robust lineups are my favorite kind of lineups. Perhaps the unprecedented times will cause them to return to a strategy where certain games that are more than a year away will be teased. Yeah, Nintendo was like, listen, we don't like this price increase, but we're going to do what we can to ensure that we have a robust software lineup to show people that you might have to spend $50 here more than we would like, but we're going to give you some games that we think are bangers, and they won't all be $70, which has proven to be true so far. In the same Q&A, Nintendo talked about how development takes longer than ever before. And how it's more difficult. They said, ideally, we'd like to deliver titles more frequently in a more timely manner. But as you pointed out, the questioner, the software development period has become longer than before. Even so, we will continue to work on various initiatives to ensure that many titles can be played on Switch 2 by improving our development system and development process. Looking ahead, this is important. We are preparing a variety of new titles for Switch 2, regardless of whether they're considered major titles or not. Furthermore, this is the most important part. Furthermore, for the second half of the fiscal year, we have new titles in addition to those already announced, and we will provide details at an appropriate time. So that's Nintendo saying, hey, we got new Switch 2 games coming out this year that we have not told you about. So ignore literally every game you know about. There are more coming from first-party Nintendo that have not been announced yet, and you'll be playing them before 2027 gets here. So very exciting.
Yeah. Sounds like their CEOs over there should pull in a WADA and give up their salaries. You know what I'm talking about?
For what?
Power to the gamers. So we don't have to pay more for a Switch 2 that I already own.
Well, yeah. So let's say they do that. Like we know Miyamoto has a regular salary over there, and I don't know what the other employees get, but I would imagine regular salaries. But let's say they're making $1 million a year. I mean, like, and that'll be like, I don't know, let's be generous and say 20 people. So that's, let's all say they split that in half. And they're like, I'll take half my pay. So that would equal $10 million Nintendo makes in a fiscal year. That ain't going to do garbage. Like, that ain't going to do anything.
What happened to all the money they made for the Wii and the Switch? I mean, I saw pictures where they had a 3DS with money coming out of it. What happened to, they can't just make more with the 3DS? Did they get rid of those?
Have you not heard how expensive printer ink is nowadays?
Oh, is that what it is?
Well, here's Deux. We're done with the Q&A. That was the only noteworthy things there. But Deux, here's something that you will like to hear. So Nintendo's raising the price of the Switch 2, and they don't like it, and they apologize for it. But literally the day after Nintendo announced the price hike, they also announced, and call me a Nintendo fanboy, something I'd say that's really cool of them to announce. They announced a Switch 2 Choose Your Game bundle. So this is a Switch 2 and a game, select game, for $500, which would mean roughly you're saving $30.
Yeah, how do they get away with that?
Well,
I'm
again,
so
as I've said,
confused.
Nintendo has always said we don't really make our money on hardware. We make our money on software. So they can take more and pull from software than they can hardware.
Is that limited time before they up the price, or is that going to be after they up the price?
Let's read together. So it's kicking off in early June. Choose your game bundle for Switch 2, $500, which includes a Switch 2 system and a download code that can be redeemed for a digital version of a game.
Any game.
No, I'll tell you. Bundle will be available for a limited time, so they don't say how long the bundle's going on for. And offers a value of $30 compared to purchasing the system and the game separately. So you get a choice of Mario Kart World. So that bundle's sold out, and now Nintendo's going back to that Mario Kart World. So because as I said, that's an important title for them. So now you can get that same deal, which is very cool to see. Donkey Kong Bonanza. That's great. That's an awesome deal. Or, which is a shocker, Pokemon Pokopia, because that sucker's making bank, and they know that will move systems, but also they got to work that deal with Pokemon Company, and they know like that sucker's making so much money, but now they're going to take the cut on the money and move the systems with it. So there you go.
So what's their end game? They just want to have the biggest number of systems sold then, so they can.
Well, you need a bigger install base to support sales of software going forward, and to ensure that third parties have a bigger base of consumers to sell their games to too. You know, like if you don't have a big install base, there's going to be third parties who are like, it's not worth our time to put the game there because there's not a big enough audience to pull from. But yeah, the more people that have systems, the more people that will buy software, and that's where Nintendo makes their money. So right now, because of the price increase and they know the reach of Pokopia, it makes more sense to give people that $30 discount on Pokopia to make the Switch more enticing. So, it's a great deal. It's a great deal. Now, how long it lasts, I don't know. September rolls around, they may kill it, or they may offer a different deal. I don't know. But right now, this is the deal we got.
So this is like the last chance for anybody who doesn't have a Switch 2 to get like a decent price.
Not
the
even
original price.
Well, you could still get the $450 price until September. But yeah, now you can get basically the Mario Kart World deal, but with other games. If you'd rather Bonanza or you'd rather Pokopia, you could get that deal instead. Yeah. So that's really cool. I mean, and those are the games to do it with. And I'm shocked they're doing it with Pokopia, because that's the one where they're going to take the biggest hit as far as like what it's selling and how many units it's selling. And again, that's Nintendo when it comes to Bonanza and Mario Kart World can do whatever the hell they want. When it comes to Pokopia, they got to talk to Pokemon Company and be like, are you cool with us doing this? Because that's going to impact Pokemon Company's bottom line as well. So, but obviously they're historic partners with one another. And obviously there's a lot that goes into that, but still it is something that has to be talked about with another company before they just do it. So it's clear Nintendo behind the scenes has been for months being like, this situation's not going to get any better. We're going to have to raise the price. Well, what can we do to make things better for people, at least for a limited window? And they're doing this.
Who holds the cards in that relationship? It's got to be Pokemon Company, right? Because they could just be like, well, we're going to Sony and
they could say
Microsoft.
No. I mean, it's a symbiotic relationship with Nintendo. Like the only reason Pokemon exists is because Nintendo, like Iwata literally came in and was like, I will help with Pokemon because they were struggling to get everything done. And, you know, Nintendo does help develop Pokemon games to a degree, but Pokemon Company is its own thing. So, yes, there could be a day where it would be the most shocking thing ever, but Pokemon Company would be like, we're going multi-platform. And that would be crazy because these two companies are intertwined, definitely. But Pokemon Company holds the cards. You are right. They could at some point be like, see you later. Could happen. It could happen. But, you know, it would be stupid because you would look at, well, you know, we are the biggest IP in the world, and we've done that alongside Nintendo. So this partnership seems to be working out pretty good for us. So who knows?
Who knows, baby?
I'm not going to say it could never happen. Crazier things have happened. There was a time when I didn't think Sega games would be on Nintendo systems, and here we are. So
It's not gonna happen.
Joe Shabadoo says, very smart way to ease the market into the revised MSRP while offering a dash of savings. Yes, you're right. It is a smart way to mentally get people to see the $500 price point and become accustomed to that while also giving them a deal. It's compelling enough for those making an off-the-shelf decision. The internet and search engines are going to continue to be flooded with strategies for people to secure a Switch 2 for under $400 over the next few months, however, and that's a good thing too. Yes, really, it is a bad situation, but right now for the consumer, it's a great situation as you can still get the old deal. You can get a new deal that is still a very great deal, and you get some software with it as well. So yes, right now, it's a great time to be a potential Switch 2 owner because you have more options than ever. Once September rolls around, we'll see what happens. But now is the time, people. And as we saw in Japan, the Switch 2 price is increasing in Japan much sooner. It's like May 25th. Stores are sold out of the Switch 2 in Japan. Lines out the door because people are rushing to get their Switch 2 now to save the 10,000 yen. So that's
what would constitute not giving the Japanese market a similar?
They already have a much cheaper Switch 2 as it is.
Oh, because it's
region
Japan
locked.
only.
Yeah,
that's right.
They have a much better deal. Yeah. So, and it's going up 10,000 yen. So they'll still have a better deal than we do because it is still region locked. But I saw a lot of people saying what Nintendo should do is start selling a version of the Switch 2 that doesn't include the dock. And they're like, you can buy the dock from Nintendo for $100, which is what it is right now. And they're like, so that way somebody could go to the store and buy a Switch 2 without the dock and pay $400. And I'm like,
I guess
not a bad idea.
It's like getting
You could buy the dock later. Yeah.
It's like getting a
Switch Lite.
The Switch Lite, but with an option to in the future play it on your TV.
Options always there. And the other thing is, I think that's a cool idea. I don't know all the ins and outs of business stuff, how that would work, but at the very least, Nintendo would have to spend a lot of money on packaging and shipping and marketing and build. So they don't have.
I don't love it.
They don't have. Well, I love it. It'd be a great option. It should be an option. Why not?
I don't love it because I feel, and this is stupid, and I'm going to say it out front, I feel bad for the Switch that's sold without a dock. Isn't that pathetic?
It's not pathetic, but
I
that's
feel
why
bad for it. If it was a Switch 2 Lite, then that's what it's made for. But this is like, we're not giving you everything you need. You can't even play this on the TV. And then people are gonna have a Switch 2, and then they're like, I don't like this anymore. Let me put it on eBay. And then some kid's like, well, I mean, now I need to get a dock.
Well, they're idiots if they think they don't like it anymore because they could buy a dock. Like, if you're gonna buy the system, you should at least know you could buy a dock if you want one.
I'm not saying that's why they didn't like the system. I mean, everyone's different. This is a hypothetical.
Look, I think it's a great idea, but Nintendo can't just turn around and make packaging because that costs money. I mean, they could do it, but also,
well,
you would imagine they'd manufacture more Switch 2s, which costs a lot more, or they would have to gut what's already out there, which doesn't make sense.
But I know the original Switch has third-party docks. I'm sure the Switch 2 does.
There are some options.
So you could probably maybe save even more money because Nintendo's dock, is going to be the most expensive.
But that is the thing. Like if Nintendo, I don't know how they could do it without, they'd either have to gut units that are already out there and go into boxes and take the Switch 2s out. Or they have to print new packaging. So it's not just as easy as like, just take the dock out of the system.
Yeah.
Like maybe they could sell it online only, but they'd still have to manufacture Switch 2s. Like it's not as simple as just take the dock out, but it is an option, and I'm sure Nintendo has considered that. But I'm sure Nintendo has also considered the Switch 2 Lite, which they want to do at some point and they have plans to do, and they want to do it just like they did with the Switch.
Most likely,
but
right?
I like it better to do a Switch 2 without a dock than a Switch 2 Lite.
The question is, which is better? The option to have a dock or one that can never dock?
Right. Yeah.
It's true.
It's a question.
But it would have to be significant savings to do a Switch Lite over a Switch 2 without a dock.
It'd be $100.
Yeah.
$100 savings at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it were to go before the price increase, it'd be $150 saving.
But how would you?
Hey, Darmani.
Could the Switch Lite doesn't disconnect the Joy-Cons, right?
That's correct.
So how would you put the technology that's in those Joy-Con 2s into a Switch Lite and have it give you the same? They'd probably have to redo the entire design.
Well, what's in it that's different?
I don't know. I just thought. I mean, that museum game made it sound like it was real fancy.
Oh, well, it's still. I think. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what would make it not physically possible, and the only thing that there's no mouse mode. You couldn't do mouse mode at all, obviously, because you can't. So mouse mode is really the only thing. Because you could do HD Rumble too, I'm sure. You don't need to worry about magnets because you're not taking them off.
Okay, well,
But
shut my mouth.
mouse mode 100% because you would need to detach the Joy-Con, and on the Switch Lite you can't detach it. So on a Switch 2, if they were doing a Switch 2 Lite, you could not have mouse mode.
Add one of those little red nubs somewhere on it.
The C button like they added on the 3DS XL or the new 3DS. So yeah, you could do that, I guess. Boy, that would be a terrible way to control that, but you could do it. Smell that barbecue. What a terrible time for me to say barbecue because our next story is about things blowing up. Nintendo's headquarters had a threat made against them. Someone was saying they were going to bomb Nintendo's headquarters, which, if you're a true Nintendo historian, you know this is not the first time, and it probably won't be the last. But once again, someone said, quote, their plans cannot be thwarted. They said they're going to bomb Nintendo's headquarters. And then as a matter of fact, they already planted some bombs. That's what they said. And they said, we're going to, quote, blow you all up, end quote. This was a 27-year-old man in Japan. He was arrested. He sent letters. This happened in March. We only just found out about it now. The police found the man. The police searched and did not find any bombs. So it seems like it was just a threat that the man didn't follow through on. Thankfully, no one was hurt, thankfully. So it seems like all is well. The man admitted to sending the letters. What?
Just make my own barbecue over here.
Thankfully, no one was hurt. No bombs were found. The man admitted to doing it, but we don't know the motive
And
yet.
there's no motive yet.
And it was not because of the price increase, because that didn't happen yet.
didn't
So I
happen
saw
yet.
that all over the place. People online were like, well, they are increasing the price, so I get why he's angry.
And I love that, like, you would even disingenuously bring that up as if like, oh, well, that's normal then. Like, we should all want to blow them up if they're raising the price on us. Like, oh,
yeah.
my God.
We also don't know. A man will obviously get jail time, or most likely get jail time. We don't know how much, but I'm keeping an eye on the story, and I'll give you any updates that come along. But thankfully, everyone is safe. Entropy says, some people just really hate Nintendo. Maybe they should have gone with CD for the N64 after all. That's what it is. Going with cartridge there, bad idea. Look, that's what cost them, among other things, Final Fantasy VII, the one that forever changed the franchise. Very quick update on big news. I had another heart attack because I was at our local mall, and I still keep tabs on my phone, and I got a tweet on my phone that said, this is Miyamoto. And I was like, oh, here we go again. But thankfully, it was just Miyamoto saying that the Legend of Zelda movie's release date got changed again, but this time it got changed for the better. The movie was changed from March 26th to May 7th, but now Nintendo's changed the date again from May 7th to April 30th. So now you will see the movie a week earlier. April 30th, 2027. Miyamoto says the team is working hard to deliver the film to everyone as soon as possible. There's less than a year to go until release, so thank you for waiting, which means shouldn't be too long before we get a cast reveal if things follow how they did with the Super Mario Brothers movie, where we find out that, we already know the guy playing Link, we already know the girl playing Zelda, but we'll find out what's the Asian lady from Severance.
I don't know her name, but
we find out finally that she's playing I'm forgetting everybody's names, characters and real people. Impa. She'll be playing Impa.
Oh, cool.
And we'll find out that Chris Pratt will be voicing Epona, and we'll find out that this week we got a story that we saw that someone has been it's just it's not a notable actor. No shade to them. It's just somebody you don't know their name. But they were cast as a Goron, so it appears that Gorons will be in the movie. And we also found out that one of the girls from Kokiri Forest in Ocarina of Time has been cast in a movie too. I don't remember her name, but it's the girl who teaches Link how to look in first person.
Saria?
She's like sitting up on the ledge or on the store.
Yeah,
whatever.
You gotta look at her.
Yeah,
with
it's
the
her.
Z targeting.
Yes, she will be in the movie. So based on the costumes, this looks like Breath of the Wild. based on the actors, this looks like, or the characters, this looks like Ocarina of Time. So it seems like this movie is going to be some sort of amalgamation of different Zelda games, and that's fine, whatever. But yeah, a week earlier, April 30th. There you go.
Know who's playing Modo? Who's the little? He's the guy that's blocking the entrance to the. That guy. I need to know who's playing him. I need to know who's playing Tingle.
King Broly says, "Okay, April release. What game is coming in May?" Great question. Great question. So there you go. A week early. That's nice. So much more to learn about this movie, and hopefully we do very soon. Maybe in June, if we have a traditional Nintendo Direct in June, we'll get a little something.
I'm sure we would have heard it if we did, but did we find out that the Ocarina of Time remake was the plant story?
We have not found out what the plant story is. If anything, we've gotten evidence to prove that that story is true.
Oh,
because part of that story was also the Star Fox game. Those two rumors came out at the same time from the same person. So we know Star Fox is true. So that would lead us to believe that the Ocarina of Time remake is true as well. Because I don't know why Nintendo would plant one fake and one real story at the same time. Because then when it breaks, that would mean now we still don't know who the leaker is because everybody reported it. So I don't know. Mido says Radical.
That's
Defect.
his name.
There you go. We got a Switch Online Nintendo or Virtual Boy Nintendo Classics update. So 5 more Virtual Boy games are available. I haven't even had the time to play them, but I'm excited to do it. Now, if you are a Switch Online expansion pack member, you have 5 more Virtual Boy games to play. Those include V Tetris, which is the version of Tetris I owned for the Virtual Boy. And I'd say that's a really good version of Tetris. Played a lot of that. Really like it. It's kind of like how Tetris Effect does virtual reality. It's the board, and that is a 2D plane, but there's other things going on behind it and in front of it. V Tetris is really cool. I really liked it. Jack Bros is available, which I never played. Space Invaders Virtual Collection, Virtual Bowling, and Vertical Force. Those are your 5 games available, right?
What's Vertical Force?
It's a shmup, which has like a really cool, I haven't played it, but it has a really cool, like, you have the plane where your ship is, and then as you're flying through space, there's a plane above you and a plane below you where things can like shift between. So it's kind of like Wario Virtual Boy, where Wario can jump back and forth between things. This is ships flying above and below you. It looks cool. Konagiga says, and still no accessibility option to play them without hurting my eyes. Remember, that color update is coming. We just don't know when, but Nintendo did promise that color update is in the works. So, we also got the release date for the Super Mario Galaxy movie for those of you who will be watching at home, like Deux. If you're a video on demand person, you will be able to rent the game the movie May 19th. So this coming week. And if you like physical format, you'll be able to pick up your DVD Blu-ray on June 16th. And we have a list of all the extra features and all that. You can have digital, 4K, Ultra HD, Blu-ray, over an hour of never before seen bonus content. The making of the movie, cast of characters, exploring the galaxy, galactic thematics, cosmic tunes, power-ups and exploration of power-ups, secrets of the galaxy, and more. So there you go. One more time. May 19th for video on demand. June 16th for physical copies. The film will be on Peacock first to stream, but we don't know that date yet. Cool. So if you want to watch it at home but don't want to pay an additional fee, you have to wait for the Peacock release, and that will happen sometime this year, probably later in the summer. But May 19th, watch at home. There you go.
Very cool.
All right, Umami, it's time.
Umami.
For the North American savory releases. Woo-woo. What do we get this week? Let me tell you. On Switch 2, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Outbound. Bless you. R-Type Dimensions 3. Sectori, the game I've been telling you about for weeks. And Small Land, Survive the Wilds, an Xbox game coming over to the Switch 2. What about Switch players? Don't worry, there's plenty for you too. Ace Thunder Aircraft Wingman Simulator. Airy Calm Horizon. Atomic Owl. Barbarous Survivor's Quest. Colorizing Daylight. Crafty Survivors. Crayon Farm Animals, or for those of you in the Midwest, Crayon Farm Animals.
Crown.
Dead Patrol. The PC 8801 version of, I don't know how to say French stuff. Motre d'un clown. Clown is the only word I know how to say there because it's in English. Farming Simulator 2026, Nintendo Switch Edition. Heroin Anthem 02, Scale Scars Oath. Jurassic Fossil and Mine Exploration Bundle. Little Helper Cafe Sugar Cubes. Lost Islands, Minutes from the Deep Complete Edition. Middle Evil, The Priest. Paw Bay. Perfect Tide Station to Station. Check out that game. Perfect Tides Station to Station. Award-winning game done in the style of old point-and-click games on the PC. Think of things like, I don't know. All that's coming to mind is Willy Beamish. Think of Willy Beamish. But again, award-winning. I think it won a Peabody. Or maybe the first one did, but really, check that game out. Retro Collections 3-in-1. Road Out. Rune Dice. Sky Meadow. Skyforge Trails. Snack and Quack Duckling Steps. Soldner X2 Final Prototype Definitive Edition, and that got a very fancy physical edition as well. Solo Shift. The Frog's Adventure. Top Shot Pool. Underling Uprising. 13, a final game of Tarot. Yomi 2, and then finally Zombie Rollers, The Last Ship. No comment there. Nice and quiet. But Nikki Hill is not here, but Deux is.
Uku.
Deux,
What
would
are
you...
the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nikki's sweet releases.
Deux, will you do the honors, please?
Sure. It's time for the European eShop releases for the week of May 14th, the year of our Lord, 2026. This is Deux Michaels reading for Nikki Hill. Nikki Hill, we speak your name.
I will not be again radical. I am empty right now.
Which games are you picking up? For Switch 2, we've got Call of the Elder Gods. I just think that's so funny. It's like, what are the two most popular games? Call of Duty and Elder Scrolls. Let's make something that some grandma's going to buy by mistake.
This is like a legit, this is a sequel to an existing game. It's like a big deal. But I just don't want people to get the impression that this is shovelware, but the name just on its face, you are correct.
Well, yeah. Well, there we go. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Outbound, Sectori, Smallland, Survive the Wilds. And for Switch, we have 13, a final game of Tarot. Ace Thunder, Aircraft Wingman Simulator. Airy, Calm Horizon. Amazing Facts, World Proverbs True or False Quiz. Antique Backgammon. Asphalt Paver.
Hell yeah.
Barbarous Survivor's Quest. Beach Girls 3, Zodiac Signs, Love and Horoscope Dating. Black Jacket. Build a Flexible Brain, Shape Search. That Kawashiga's really on a roll. Call of the Elder Gods. Claim the Forest, Settling Peace. Codename Black Crow. Colorizing Daylight. Crayon Farm Animals. Dead Patrol. Declines Drops. Drone Simulator Smash Zombies. Eki Crush. A Console Mortuary Dun Clown.
Come on, you know French.
Muerto.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, that's the one, the clown game. I Am Dog Chaos Simulator. Entrusted Hands. Island Survive Simulator Craft Build Grow. K-Pop Fandom Korean Quiz. Kingdom Trails. Little Things. Logic Training IQ Quiz for Kids. Menace from the Deep Complete Edition. I know this is unrelated, but Still Wakes the Deep, that game that I really liked.
I saw What's-His-Face mention it.
That's why I was bringing it up. Terry Crews was talking about how much he loved it. He played it with his kid or something. Middle Evil, The Priest. Mighty Aphid. Millionaire Obby. Nitro Gen Omega. Outbound. Perfect Tide Station to Station. Raccoon Survival Simulator. Roots and Sprouts. Snack and quack. Duckling steps.
Excuse me.
That was a quack.
That was a quack after a snack. Soldner X2 Final Prototype Definitive Edition. Solo Shift. Surprising Laws Around the World. True or False Quiz.
So I don't want to play that, but that does sound like an interesting topic.
Oh yeah, totally.
Let's be nosy about it. Yeah.
I mean, it's more a bathroom book than a game.
Yes,
But,
perfect.
take it seriously. Extreme Common Sense Challenge. That should be a Patreon. Have Nikki Hill play the Extreme Common Sense Challenge.
Oh, God, I'm gonna look into it now.
The Real Academic Challenge High School Level. Trace Blackout, The Perfect Crime Mystery. Underling Uprising. Yomi 2. And last but not least, Zombie Rollers, The Last Ship.
And
There's-
quiet comments on that one.
Yeah, no comments. What
No
the
comments
heck?
on the releases this week. Like I said, the financial stuff and all that. We're too busy being mad about Mixtape and all that stuff. All the attention's on Mixtape. Thank you, Nikki Dewey Hill.
Is that what I sound like?
Mom Brain, what have you been playing?
Nothing.
Okay. What have you been playing?
Big week for Deux Michaels, ladies and gentlemen. So Animal Crossing Old Horizons, nothing new. It was somebody's birthday. It was Ellie's birthday, I want to say, this week. And I keep forgetting that on their birthday, they don't put on the clothes you give them right away because they're wearing like special birthday clothes.
Yeah.
Which is cute. But so I forget I gave her something pretty cool, like some sort of label something, fancy pants. She liked it, but she didn't put it on at the party. Played some Fortnite. There's a new update for Fortnite, which for Zero Build, and we only played one night, but it seems pretty cool. There are most of the changes I think are really good.
I'm proud of us too. I'm proud of us on night 1 of the new season, which is when people kick your ass. We got 2 wins. Didn't start out like that was going to happen, but
yeah, we got bashed around for a couple of games, and then we ended up winning a couple of games. So we're still doing okay. But yeah, there's a bunch of changes. There's like no fall damage, or there's fall damage, but it doesn't kill you if you're far enough. There's my personal favorite is you can deploy your paraglider pretty much jumping off at any like high
you and I
place.
are in agreement on that.
So that's
I
the
love
best.
that. It makes movement and momentum so much more fun when you can like use a shockwave and then pull your parachute, or like leap off a building and pull your It's great. It's great.
Even like for anything, like even if you're not being chased, it's like way more fun to just be like, I'm on a building and bah!
Yeah.
Like it's just great.
Yeah.
And now you have a pocket item, which means because we're not building, you don't use I guess on PlayStation, it's the circle button. It would be, I'm guessing, B button on whatever you play on.
A on Switch
But anyways,
B on Xbox.
There's a pocket button that you press, and there's a pocket item that recharges every time you use it in 30 seconds. So it's kind of unlimited uses as long as you wait for it to charge. And you start with a shockwave grenade, which is great because it's a very cool.
It's great for us because we're always running away from people.
We're always running away. We're always using shockwaves to get away. And with the combination of being able to pull your paraglider whenever you can use a shockwave into the paraglider, and you can get some real distance, and it's a lot more versatile as far as what you can do. And also there's a cool feature where you can like close your parachute and just free fall, and then you have to be ready to pull it again. But there's no limit. There's not like a certain altitude you get to where that automatically pulls your parachute, which is cool. So you can get to the ground very, very quickly if you want to. And it's just, to be honest, it's just really fun to like see how close you can get.
Yeah. We're always about the non-existent games within the games where it's like, how close can we get the pin on the map and all that stuff. Yeah.
So I big surprise when Deux Michaels heard about the new changes. He was not thrilled about them.
Our friend sent it to the Discord, and I was like, I didn't send this because I know Dew's going to be mad about it. I was like, let's see how this played out.
So,
and then,
to be honest, every change that I talked about, I like. There's only one change, and we haven't been able to determine if this change is even in our squad-based playing, because I don't think it is. But there is a new feature where I guess if you thirst somebody or kill them, eliminate them, you get your overshield back. And that was one that I was against just because I don't ever kill anybody.
Let's
so
put it
I was
this
like,
way.
they're gonna kill. Like,
Even if it is part of our games, it has been a part that
it
doesn't make any difference for us.
we haven't noticed if it is a part of it. So like that was the one thing that I was really worried about, kind of taking away the experience for me. But I don't know if it's not there or if I just don't notice it. So I didn't have anything to worry about. But regardless, it's still great fun.
There's also infinite stamina if you run with your pickaxe out,
that's a good
which
one
is
too.
so good.
That's the one I keep forgetting to do.
It's really helpful because again, we're usually running away from people. So like I'll use a shock and get away. I'll use a shock and I'll parachute and get away, and then I'll switch to my pickaxe and just run until I feel like I'm safe, which is very helpful.
I can't tell you how many times I get caught on just the inside of the storm, like following it, trying to get out of it, and like running out of stamina and things like that. So
the constant like get right to the edge and you run out of stamina and you fall. But now you shouldn't have to deal with that.
But yeah, that's the one thing I was having trouble remembering to do is pull out my pickaxe to run. But so those are the ones that I can think of off the top of my head.
There's the tracer gun, the 2 dual pistols that move you into first person, but they have that dash move.
That's interesting.
Really
so there's like a dual wield pistol that puts you in first person, which was kind of jarring at first. I mean, to be honest,
it's all
I got
from
into
Overwatch, but
it was very comfortable. And you can do these dashes forward in the air, which is great for movement. But then there's also like a rewind button where you can kind of dash forward, do some things, and then hit the rewind button, and then you could end up back where you were like 10 seconds previously. So I haven't really utilized that much in combat. I want to because I feel like it would like mess with people. But people have been so good. I mean,
it'll mess with us for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The people were really good, obviously, because it was the first night of the new update. But yeah, that's all I can think of. Can you think of any others? You thought of a few already.
New stuff that we didn't talk about? No, I think that's it.
Yeah, they didn't. Look, I've got bad thumbs, bad gaming thumbs. I have to wear these wrist braces to play games anymore because I'm so old. But one of the saving graces of Fortnite is double clicking the joystick and having your character run for you. And they, a while ago, they took out being able to do that for traversal emotes. And I know it's stupid, but like, it's killing me, man. It's killing my thumbs. Just for a jokey emote to like move, it's just hurting me. It's hurting me big time. But those are little things. Anyways, moving on. So I played a little bit more of the Long Dark, and things were not looking good for the rest of Andrew Deux' gaming regiment because, like I said, last week I've discovered the woodworking tools and furnishing. This week I found out how to make my own ammunition. So I spent a lot of time crafting my own ammunition, and now it's like I'm never gonna run out of like bullets for my revolver or my rifle, and it wasn't looking good. And I made it to the last region that I haven't explored yet with the total purpose of doing what I've been doing, making a furniture bench and making furniture and doing my thing. But for some reason, I don't know why, I stopped playing and I downloaded Mixtape. And it's a good thing that I did because it got me kind of away from the Long Dark for the past 2 days. I'm 2 days clean. So we'll see. But
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, it's brave of me to do so, I think. But yeah, so I played Mixtape, and I have to say, what a woke piece of crap. Just kidding. I loved it. I thought it was really, really good. Everything you said last week, RMC, is spot on, I believe. So I don't want to try to rehash all the stuff that you so eloquently said.
Oh, thank you.
Us being from that time period as well, like it's literally made by people who are probably exactly our age.
It's right in that high school period.
Yeah, it's like perfect for us as far as time period. And I also love narrative adventures and walking simulators and story games, or whatever you want to call them. It's my genre. It's one of my favorite genres, and it has become that over the past 5+ years now, maybe even longer. So I am really like, this is a game for me. I'm not saying you're gonna love it, but I'd be surprised if you weren't moved in some way by relating to these characters. If you're, if you've graduated from high school and you've kind of moved on in life a little bit, I'd be very surprised if you weren't moved a little bit by this. Now, some of the characters at first I was like, like I look, there's better maybe narrative games, but there's something that this game does that captures this feeling, and the way they use the music to kind of glue it all together, and the way music in our own lives will make you think of memories and paint them. I'm getting choked up thinking about it right now, actually. I loved all the music in this. I'd say about, as a music lover, now I don't know every song ever, clearly, obviously. I like a lot of music. I knew about half of the songs. A lot of, like, the other half was either artists I've heard of, or like, but just wasn't familiar with the song. Regardless, I thought almost every song was used perfectly. At least for my experience moving through this game, I loved the music. That was actually the biggest emotional connection for me, where parts of the music connected with how they were remembering these memories got me choked up quite a bit. Like, right from the start, there were a couple of places where I like got a little misty-eyed at like certain things, even right from the beginning. But it wasn't until the finale with a very particular song that I just love. And it actually, I've got a cat related death story related to one of the songs in the game. And man, I was so moved, not because of the cat, but by the end of the experience, I was very, very moved. And I was like crying. I found myself crying and just letting it out. And it was very, I don't know, it was big. And then like 2 seconds later, our friend like texted us something that was also kind of like a real world thing that was also not necessarily supposed to make me cry, but because I was already emotional and we are empathetic people. I was like, oh my God, why am I feeling like this for this person too? But regardless, it was really emotional, and it felt really good to let those emotions out. And I don't know, like I said, I can't necessarily relate to the characters because I was never a drinker or smoker in high school. So like, I can't relate to the, hey, one last party for the summer, baby, like that kind of thing.
Schmeats.
Yeah, like, I mean, well, we can relate in a way, but it wasn't like, oh, this is where we drank beers, and this is where we, and we flipped off our parents here. Like, I was never that rebellious, but there's so many things that I was able to relate to, and I just so many things, and the time period, and the fact that like you didn't have your mobile phone on you all the time, and like a lot of things were organic. You just went somewhere and saw somebody that you knew, or you went to the mall, or you went to I don't know, there's like a lot of locations that you don't spend time in necessarily, but there's like the football field and the mall that's under construction, and like the neighborhoods and all these things that
it sounds very old fashioned, but I agree. Like that, thinking of that era without having cell phones or something where people can always track you or any of that, it's a very unique feeling. I mean, it's certainly a unique feeling nowadays that we're never going to get back. So being like the last part of that era is, I think, something special. So yeah, our generation who plays this game probably gets hit harder by that.
And I appreciated that it didn't do what like a Stranger Things, which I love, does, which is like, hey, remember the 80s? Remember this? It didn't do any of that. Maybe some of the songs for some people would be the remember this, but the only thing that I clocked that was kind of like a remember when, and it was done very tongue in cheek, was when the main character who loves the music so much was talking about like compact discs and how like music is
Yeah.
like gonna sound so good. And I remember that was exactly how we felt like when CDs came out. It was like we're on the cutting edge of music.
She
It's
spoke
never
of
gonna
it in
sound
the game
better.
like we felt back
Exactly. And like I didn't find that cheesy or even a nod to like, hey, remember when? It was just like that's how I felt about it.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to think about that and like, you know, what you had to do to listen to music in the car or whatever, or like, you know,
Plugging
like
in your Discman to the.
And just what you had to do to listen to music in general. You had to get it. You like had to drive to the mall and go to FYE or whatever to get the CD, or you had to
But
whatever
what a,
those
like, what
CD
a-
things that you subscribe
I
to.
mean, we could go on forever, but like, what a missed connection for people, which maybe is why like vinyl is like coming back, like just or physical music to be like at the store looking at music with other people who are interested in that music. And like the more niche your taste was, the more
That's why
the harder you had to look, and the more you're likely to find your people in a like there's just something
that's
really
a part of
lovely
why
about
I get
that.
so emotional now going into stores that sell like anime merch
Yeah.
and anime figurines, because I never had that in that era and always wanted it. And seeing
like a
it
way of,
now,
like,
I'm like, oh
sorting
my God, this is
people
happening.
by
Yeah.
their interest and like
Yeah.
allowing them space to
Yeah.
like be with other people who love their interests. Like we have a woman that I work with who is looking into getting further education and certification in our field, and she was talking about how she didn't explain something, and I was like, do you know how dripping wet I get talking about this? Like and I have no one to talk to. Like I have nobody to talk to about my special interest. And so I please call me. She's like, I'll buy you coffee. I'm like, no. Like you would make me so happy to like talk about my special interest with me. So I get that.
But yeah, like it was great, a great experience. It was short and sweet, and I personally liked the length. I didn't want it to be any longer personally, but I can see why people would want something a little bit longer.
It does not overstay its welcome.
But yeah, that's one thing that I thought was magical about it. You know, like it's not supposed to last forever.
It's
and
kind of like about what the game's about
Yeah.
in general. I don't know if that's on purpose or not, but yeah, it's over in a blink, and you're like,
Yeah.
the feelings you get from it are mimic the feelings that you are supposed to get from the story, or the feelings we had when we were in that era. So yeah.
And
Or, as someone who went to high school and looks back on it, you're like, wow, I thought this way back then, and now I'm thinking this way now. That was such a short window, or that was
Yeah.
over so quickly. And
Yeah, it's amazing to think about that kind of stuff. And you haven't lived as much life back then, obviously, so like you have nothing to compare it to, so it seems longer, but
Yeah.
when you look back, it's like that was only 4 years. It's been
Yeah.
26.
Yeah.
Like things like that. But yeah, it's really well done. There's little kind of mini games to play as you go through the memories, and they're not all that compelling, but it's more kind of like the experience of being with your friends while you're doing it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't take anything to fill up a slushie with different colored ices, but I had fun doing it because like I was with, you're with the friend, and you're like
it's
kind
a
of
perfect example of remembering the silly little things because of the people you were doing them with.
yeah.
It's
So
not what you were doing that makes it special. It's who you were with that makes it special.
and I didn't see, a lot of the vitriol I saw. Obviously, I was in the comments, and I shouldn't have been, and no one was saying anything nice.
You can't keep saying you shouldn't have been if you keep doing
Right,
it.
but basically, the non-Ellison related criticisms were like, I don't even have the game plays itself. I was doing the skateboarding thing, and I didn't even have my fingers on the controller, and it's like,
You're missing
that's
the point.
That's not the point. Exactly. We're not playing like Skate or Die or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That really kind of like upset me and they were talking. I don't want to give any other scenarios away, so I won't. But I don't know. I thought, look, it's not the hardest thing in the world, and the mini games are like they're not going to fulfill you like a video game.
Yeah.
But the story around it is the point, and like the characters and what they're going through and how you can relate in your own life. To be honest, the characters are fine, but like they're not that they're in depth. You get a great sense of who they are, but like I feel like the game is more to be like a surrogate for your own experiences, you know. And boy, there's some things that were just real special, you know, real special about it. And it's very cinematic. That's one thing I love. I love needle drops in movies. I love when like there's a real song perfectly put in, like the main character wants to be a sound supervisor, a music supervisor for movies. And that was always one thing that I never, like, when we used to make movies in high school and I had tons of soundtrack ideas. That's like all I was about. And it was all about that. Forget trying to get licensing for my high school movie. But yeah, like I totally related to that too. And it was great that the whole experience was very cinematic, used with the music, and all the music was great. And really, really emotional. And it's just like the power of music and what it can do to you. I mean, oh my God, like without that music, I would have had a dry eye. Seriously. I'm not saying that the rest of the game wasn't emotional or moving, but like the way they use the music.
Yeah, that game is
was
built
excellent.
around the music. Yeah.
It was great. So I really enjoyed playing it. Like I said, it was short and sweet, and I would recommend it to anybody. And it's a shame that it's got all this crap surrounding it right now, because, you know, it's fine to not be interested in a narrative adventure. That's fine. Like, that's totally fine. I wish they would just leave it there rather than being like the game sucks.
It's okay to not
'cause
be
it doesn't.
interested in something.
Yeah,
Yes.
because it's like, man, I love narrative adventures, and this was a great one. It's not my favorite one I've ever played, but I'm not going to forget it. It was great. So really loved.
It is in the top 20 on Switch too.
And that's what I got it on too. I got it on the Switch too. And man, I really loved it. So thought it was great. And then this is actually probably what solidified the Long Dark's funeral for me. I downloaded and cannot stop playing Vampire Crawlers.
Hey!
This game,
Vampire Crawler Carl.
is ridiculous.
Yes!
This game.
Yeah.
And I started the game and I was like, okay, don't love it. And then like played 2 seconds, played like 2 seconds, and I was like, yeah, still don't love it. I have no idea what's happening. And then like 20 hours later, it was like, I gotta go to this podcast now. like I can't stop playing it. It's a lot of fun. It's got everything from everything from like the world of Vampire Survivors, which I love. So like all these little weird characters and their traits, and like the evolutions of their weapons and all that stuff. I love all that stuff. But there's a little bit more agency now, because you're the one in charge of how you fight these enemies. You're not just standing there and hoping you get the upgrades you want. You're, you know, playing your cards in certain orders to advance. And boy, is it addictive. The music is great. The way they use the music is so Nintendo.
Yeah.
Because like it'll be one song, but whatever, like if you're in a different like store, or if you're in a different place, or if you're in the battle mode versus walking around, it's like a different version of the song.
They fade into each other. Yeah.
So awesome. Like when you go to all your Vampire Crawlers are in the pub, I guess you could say. So you go to like the tavern. You go to the tavern, and it's like this like minstrelly version of like the theme song that's playing while you choose what character you want. And then you go out and you go to the museum where all your unlocks are shown or something. And then it's, you know, like a more like classical version of it. And just the way the music goes in and out like that. And it does the same thing during gameplay. It's great. It's a little confusing sometimes to know where the front line of the enemies is. It's not the biggest deal in the world. And most of the time I do know, but sometimes I'll like have a guy that hits me and it's like, that guy's in the front line. I can't even tell, but not a big deal. That's a me thing. Yeah, nothing really to say about it, except it was worth the price of admission already. It was $10 and I can't stop playing it. Now, I'm not saying everybody who loved Vampire Survivors is going to love this, because you might not. There might be people out there who don't get addicted to this because you have to do a little bit more. And I can see people not being into card battlers or whatever. It's not necessarily a genre that I'm looking for. But but man, it's addictive and it's
You
fun.
get
and
a good deck of cards, man, and you get that one, the gauntlet one, where you can add more cards to your deck, and you're just like, oh, love it. Feels so good. And the gems fly out, which is always satisfying. But just like blowing away a whole wave of enemies with the right cards,
it's got that. It's got that casino feel where it's just like it feels good to kill them. It feels good to hit them. Feels good to kill them. Feels good to collect what you get.
Feels
and it's like
really good to get a great card that you then modify with like 2 other things to make it like a really killer card. And that's right. And then like, you're fighting a boss and that card comes up in your deck and you're like, oh, you're screwed. You just rock them with that card.
When it perfectly lines up, or if you do like, there's so many different kinds of builds you can do. And in between games, you can like set different stats for yourself. So I've got right now that all the armor that I get keeps itself like stacks over the fight, because
that's the one that I'm using.
It's the best one.
I originally had the one where armor turned into damage.
Yeah, that's nothing.
I liked it, but then I went to the other one. I was like, oh, this is way
I'm
better.
The same as you. I put it on this because, and then I can like stack armor, and then I get a bunch of like these gold armor cards, and then I'm like boom, 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 and then they can't even touch me.
And then you can even get modifiers for those cards that still makes them deal out damage too. So there's other ways around it.
It's got a great gameplay loop where it's fun to play it, it's fun to level up, and after almost every single run, you're unlocking something, at least one thing, if not 20 things. So it's just constantly like a series of, oh, you liked that? Well, what if you tried it again, but you're stronger?
Yeah.
And it's like, what? This is better. And then like,
what if this time you had 30 doves flying above your enemies?
How great is that?
Crapping or shooting shots at them after. Oh, I love it. And you throw out holy water that burns them when they say it's so sad.
It really is great. And like, there's all kinds of ways to level up your cards, and every run is going to be slightly different. It's just really great. So it keeps that spirit of like Vampire Survivors, where it's addictive, it's fun to play, and you're all constantly unlocking things, and that like casino type reward gameplay is there. But it's just done here so well, and I didn't mind paying $10 at all, because it feels like they really put a lot into this game. I mean, they're really like, it's a clever game. It's clever, and it's like
full of stuff to do.
Yeah, it's just really great. So I'm having a ball with it. And what's even better is it worked. I purchased it on the Switch, the original Switch. So I bought the Switch 1 version for $10. And then when I booted up the Switch 2, I was able to download the Switch 2 version at no additional charge. So
it's a free update. That's true.
If for whatever reason I only had my Switch 1 and I wanted to still play the game, I could. So I'm happy about that as well. So I think it's a great deal.
Remember, not every game is a free update, a free upgrade for Switch 2. This is one of them.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I can see myself playing a bunch of it. I've already I sort my games by time played, as you know, and I'm obsessed with it. It's already on the second line of games. So
I mean, you still gotta level up so much that you can fight death, because he comes at the end of each thing, and there's no way you're killing him now, or at least I'm not.
I didn't know you could even fight him. He just comes and kills me, right?
I mean, you'll be able to live eventually, yeah, but
oh wow, I'm excited.
It ain't happening.
Well, yeah, I'm really digging Vampire Survivors. It's a lot of fun, and I'm glad that I've got this game, because I would have just played Mixtape and then gone right back into the long dark for probably 3 more months without pulling my head up for air, which isn't a bad thing. But I wanted to kind of branch out, and this is helping me, because now all I've been thinking about for the past 2 days is crawling through and like and unlocking the next thing or doing whatever. Yeah, that's all. I think that's all I have to say about that. I'm really, really enjoying all that. So thanks for listening to all that of what I've played. And RMC, what have you been playing?
Thanks for asking. I played Fortnite, covered pretty much everything we need to cover there. Agree with Deux, had fun, really enjoying this update. This is the first update to Fortnite I can feel like where I'm like, I really have to learn some new things now. Like we're using a button we don't ever use, which is not a big deal, but that I'm thinking of it deeper than I was before, because now it's Shockwave into Paraglider into Infinite Sprint into like other things, and it's like, don't die from falls. There's a lot more things to consider, but I mean it as a positive. I'm just like, my tactics in Fortnite have pretty much been on autopilot, minus if a weapon does something different. Oh, there's the healing staff we didn't talk about.
Oh, yeah.
But now there's so many new things and so many different mechanics where I'm like, oh, this feels like a really new wrinkle to it that I'm enjoying. So yeah, had a lot of fun with that. Played a whole bunch of retro games. The only thing I'll talk about in detail with retro games is The Adventures of Lolo, because my mom and I played The Adventures of Lolo a lot. Mom Brain will test this week. When they visited, my mom and I probably played Lolo for an hour and a half at least, maybe 2 hours. Because my mom didn't either remember the game or wasn't familiar with the game. I was like, oh, you'll love it. It's just like all puzzles. So we played through a whole bunch of stages. We got up to the 5th chapter, which is a pretty decent chunk. There's 10 chapters, but some of the puzzles as you got further, I was like, oh, these are pretty good. Like I wasn't blowing through them. There were some interesting ones. And we are not using traditional save. But I use traditional save when we ended the game, because I'm like, I'm not going to write the password down. I'll just do traditional save. But we were using rewind only because, if you fail a puzzle, it's just lives and it's over. So we would just rewind to when we started the puzzle. But man, it's really good. If you haven't played Adventures of Lolo and you like the puzzling of Zelda games, go play Adventures of Lolo, because it's basically nothing you would really call combat. And it's mostly all puzzles where you're like figuring out how to get by enemies or pushing blocks to get around enemies. Or it's very good. It's very, very, very good. And it very much stands the test of time. It's part of your Nintendo Classics. NES Nintendo Classic. So if you have a Switch Online account, you could be playing this game right now, and I highly recommend it. So go check that out. And then the only other thing I've been playing, because I've been putting all my time to it, is Mina the Hollower. Yacht Club was nice enough to send over a review code. Thank you to Yacht Club. I really
don't know
appreciate
if I should be upset, but I guess that's how it goes.
Taking a drink. They said, because I know what you're talking about. Let me read what they said. Please use your best judgment and avoid spoilers or late game content. We have not released this game early to crowdfunding backers, and we would like to give all players the opportunity to experience the game for the first time without having to dodge spoilers left and right. So they're trying to be careful about how coverage is coming out in order to not spoil things for the backers and other people. But yeah, as far as why they haven't given the code out to backers yet, it's probably because they don't want things spoiled. Now, whether that's the right or wrong thing to do, that's for them to decide. I'm not commenting on it, because I would handle things differently, but who knows? I would need to be in that situation. But I understand your, I don't want to say discomfort, but your questioning of it.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with it, by the way. But it would be nice, to get a little something for what I supported when you were like, yeah, I'm not supporting that crap.
Well,
I don't think you said crap.
No, I didn't support because of ethical reasons. I don't support Kickstarters because of work situations. That's why. But anyway, I'm playing Mina the Hollower, and I've put in got to be close to 10 hours. I will avoid spoilers. But boy, is there a lot to do in this game, and it is so deeply layered. It's not just like you unlock this thing, go do it. Like there's little things to explore and investigate all over the place. Like secrets abound. There's so much stuff that is not pointed out to you for you to explore and discover on your own, especially if you're taking your time. I mean, there's big things you see all over the place. It's like there's these doors and they're all over the place and I can't get into them. How do I get in them? Or there's mirrors. What do I do with these mirrors? Well, like you go up to a mirror and you hit a button and you can see Mina and she looks at herself, and you can move the screen around to see yourself. And it's a really cool touch. Mina's eyes move wherever you're looking, which is just a nice little touch. But you're like, what's the point in this? Why am I doing this? And you figure that out later. There's a whole bunch of NPCs that hint at stuff. There's a whole bunch of buildings you don't know how to get into. There's so much. There's hidden ways to upgrade weapons all over the place. There's so much stuff to upgrade and collect and do. And I'm sure plenty of it is not necessary, but will make your game maybe more enjoyable or more interesting, or if offer up mechanics that you enjoy more. I can't express enough that you should really take your time to explore this game, because there's stuff hidden in plain sight and stuff hidden that you wouldn't even notice. And there's just so much. And it's got that really great feel that I love from old games, where you see things or you question things or you wonder if something is meant to be a mystery, or if you're reading into things. And more often than not, yes, you are seeing something that you may not know about yet or understand all the mechanics to, and it's there for you to explore later. So I really love that stuff. Like, there was one where I found a gravestone that I could lay down by, and it took me to an area where it took away all my health and all. I got to talk about that. Takes away all your health, and you have to work your way through this whole environment where basically one hit and you're dead. And you can eventually get ways to give yourself health back, but your health continues to tick down while you're in this environment. So it's like a real extra challenge, and you don't have to do it. As far as I know, you don't have to do it, but boy, was it a lot of fun to do. So there's stuff like that all over.
Was the reward worth it?
Well, I'm not done with the reward, to tell you the truth. I got something, but there's more for me to do in that. I just was like, getting through the part that I did on the first part was grueling enough where I was like, I don't want to go back into that just yet. I was like, let me learn a few more things first. But so far, yes, worth it. There's so much to health and combat. So health is, you have your health bar, but when you get hit, you'll lose a part of your health bar, but the part that you lose is in orange, while the rest of your health is in red. And if you drink one of the vials that you have on you, it will replenish everything that's in the orange. So say you get hit twice, that'll move your orange health bar down to a certain spot, further than the full health bar. And then you drink to replenish what you can. So you can only replenish what is in orange. And you can refill the whole, say you're down to like a little sliver of health and there's no orange. The more enemies you hit without kill, or the more enemies you hit will replenish that orange bar further. So it's possible to have a tiny sliver of red health, but a full bar of orange because you've hit an enemy enough times without dying. So then if you drink a vial, then you'll refill all the way your health bar. But if you only have an orange bar that's halfway full because you've only hit enemies a certain amount of times, you can still drink a vial, but you'll only get that much health replenished. So the game entices you to
challenge yourself
and be careful in fights, because it'll be like, keep your distance, go in for a quick hit, fall back, rinse and repeat until your orange is all the way filled, then drink your vial, then you have full health again. So you got to be smart about your combat, but it's really enjoyable. And you don't have unlimited vials while you're out and about. You can up the amount of vials that you carry. I believe you start with 3. I can carry 6 now. And they replenish every time you go back to your home base. And you can get back to your home base by any number of burrows all over the place. There's like a checkpoint burrow all over the place, and you dive back in, and that's your home base for your vials and your weapons and your money and all that stuff. And you use money to level up. It's kind of like Zelda 2. You know how in Zelda 2 it was like, get enough experience points and you buy better magic, or you buy more health. That's what you do in this game. Exactly the same. So more of the little gems that you get. Exactly. You do that here, and it gets more expensive as you go on.
And you can choose, like in Zelda, it was like, I could upgrade my life now, but if I wait till the next upgrade, I can get the magic upgrade. Or whatever.
Yeah, you could do. Well, they all cost the same until you spend money on one, and then the next one costs more. But you could powerhouse it and be like, I'm only doing health, and as long as you get enough of the money to buy it the next time. Yeah, so you could go one path completely and then focus on the others if you want. When you die, you have one chance to get your money back. And if you die again, then you lose all the money that you had on you. But the further you get into the game, you'll get things that give you more chances. So say you die, you'll have 3 chances to get your money back rather than just 1. So it gets easier as you go on, which is nice. I've lost money a few times. It's not a big deal. You get money all over the place. It's really not a big deal. Sure, it sucks to have like 1,000 gems on you or bones on you or whatever. I think it's bones that are money. It sucks to lose 1,000. and like you feel a little bitter about it, and then you play the game for another 10 minutes and you're like, oh, I already have like 600. It's not that, like, it hasn't been a big deal for me. Combat is very fun. Combat is certainly more challenging. Like, don't picture this game like Link's Awakening in terms of combat. Combat is more challenging. You can jump, you can burrow to get away from enemies. So you're going to have to use those abilities to really work with the enemies. You have sub-weapons like you have in Castlevania. So you can pick up an axe or a knife or a like acid dash or an umbrella or a bike that you can ride around through people, which does have a bell button. I don't know if it does anything, but you can ring a bell. So there's a whole bunch of different sub-weapons which make combat even more layered, and it really is a lot of fun. Combat is challenging, but not so hard that I feel like I am struggling. Like, I've lost once to a boss so far. It really hasn't been bad, but you don't want to take any enemies for granted. Like, even a batch of regular enemies can get you down pretty quickly because there's really a very, very, very minuscule window of invincibility. It's like really quick. So you can't just get hit and then power through an enemy. They're going to hit you again. But you have different, outside of the sub-weapons, you have your different main weapons to use. You have a giant hammer. Now, you select the one you want in the beginning, but as the game goes on, you can find the other ones and then choose between them. So there's the big hammer, there's the whip, there's the dual blades, there's other stuff which I don't want to say in case it's spoiler, but I initially went the whip because I really love whips in games, and the whip is a lot of fun. But then I ended up finding the dual blades, and I was like, let me give the dual blades a shot. They don't hit as hard, but they're quicker, and you have to get closer to your enemy. And I like the dual blades better now. Now I'm sticking with dual blades the whole time, which surprises me because I thought I would have been whipped to the end. But also, when you first choose your weapon in the beginning, you can try out all three that are available to see which one you like. And they all have their different mechanics. But dual blade is a lot of fun. And like whip, you can reach enemies from further away, so it's safer, but it takes a little bit longer to do. Dual blades, you have to get in closer to do the hit, and there's a little bit of knockback with every hit you do, so you get shoved back a little bit, so that's something to account. But it's so much quicker that you might be able to kill enemies more quickly than you could with the whip. Obviously, the hammer is much slower, but does a lot more damage, so there's that, but it leaves you open to more attacks. It's very interesting. But again, you'll find them as you play, so you can pick and choose. But I'm team dual blades all the way now. So many false walls and hidden stuff in dungeons and all that stuff to look out for, and like little side characters that you'll meet. Just lots of really great stuff. I don't want to spoil things, but it's very enjoyable. It is very fun to explore. The enemies are very unique and varied. The game does not really hold your hand, and the game really like comes at you. It's not like you're easing into an area. Like if you wander into an area and you're just in an area in the first time, the opening spot may have some enemies that are pretty difficult. So you learn early on and then you adjust on the fly, and it's just very enjoyable. The animation is great. The soundtrack is great. Boss battles are a lot of fun. My only complaint so far, and I don't know if this is going to change, is that I would like more puzzles. There's really not much in the way of puzzles. There's like secrets and mysteries, but there's no like, so far there's no like block pushing or like Zelda style puzzles. I really haven't found any of those. So it plays in some ways a lot like Link's Awakening or a classic top-down 2D Zelda, but more difficult. But you're not really getting that puzzle action from it. I'm really trying to think. There are plenty of things where you're like, how do I do this? Or what am I supposed to do? But it's not a puzzle per se. It's just you need to play the game more to see how things work. There's really not any like, turn the mirror to light up the thing or push the blocks into a hole or stuff like that. And I really like that in Zelda games. So I'm missing that here. But the game is still very satisfying. And maybe there will be portions or dungeons later on where that comes into play. But so far, so good. Very enjoyable. And all the little things to explore just makes it that much more fun. So If you are eagerly looking forward to Mina the Hollerer, I think you have nothing to worry about. I think you're very much going to enjoy it. And I honestly think it'll give you multiple wrinkles of gameplay that you weren't expecting. So it's really good stuff. It's a lot of fun. I am not playing it on Switch because they did not have Switch codes at the time. They gave me a Steam code. They said, if you want to play on Steam, you can play on Steam. And I said, yeah, that's fine. I'll play on Steam. So that's where I'm playing it. But they have told me they will give me a Switch 2 code. And I said, I don't want to take 2 codes. Like, I was like, give it to somebody else if they need it. I'm like, there are other people. And their response to me was, you're not Go Steam, you're Go Nintendo. I was like, oh, all right. But in a nice way, in a good way. They're fans of Go Nintendo. They've been we've known each other forever. So that's nice. So I'll be able to see how the Switch 2 version plays and all that. But May 29th it comes out. I don't know if I can tell you when reviews are allowed, but you got impressions and there's footage. And if you have any questions for me, send me an email or leave it on Patreon. I'll be happy to answer the questions. But so far, so very good. Very enjoyable. Lots of heart. It's just lots of so meticulously designed, so carefully designed, so expertly designed. So much painstaking care and attention has got into this game where like every little nook and cranny has been really thought out well. There's so many nice little touches. Dude, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I think, because you said you struggle with how some of those 2D games look and knowing like where you can go or what you can do. And they've done so much to like, they've added in a little grace period for jumps when people jump over holes.
Yeah, I saw that.
They have flickering shadows to show you stuff. They have little animations when you're like on a ledge to let you know you're close to fall. There's a whole bunch of little like creature comforts that are there, I think, for people who don't traditionally play these games. So hopefully those will help. They are notable and noteworthy for when you're playing. So, but yes.
They worked hard on it. I mean, as a backer, I got emails constantly from them for, I don't know, over 2 years now, and they've been developing it even longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, every single time you'd get an email, it was interesting to read about what they were doing, because it was like a bunch of stuff that they wanted to perfect, and they kept like going back and like kind of giving you the nitty gritty. And to be honest, like I didn't read a lot of it because like I'm not a developer, and I was like, these guys worked really hard on it. But I appreciate that I backed them, because when I play the game, I think I'm going to appreciate it a lot more, because traditionally it's not really, I mean, look, I like top-down Zelda games, but because of the challenge of this game, it's traditionally not a game that I would normally get into. And I would probably not write it off, but not think about the artistry that went into it. And because of all those emails and all the information, it's amazing what they did.
They put so much into this. I can't even imagine how much, we know the years it took, but the literal hours and manpower and all that, it's staggering to see the degree of which they have like really drilled down into everything with all that. And also, by the way, I should have mentioned, if you're worried about difficulty, you have a trinket bag, and you can carry a certain amount of trinkets that you can expand on. You have to find the trinkets, and maybe you can buy some of them, but they will lessen difficulty in a number of ways. Like I said, one of the trinkets I have allows me to up the amount of vials that I can carry. And there's a whole bunch of other trinkets that will make for ease of play in a number of different areas. So you should be able to find a collection of stuff.
Multiple trinkets at a time.
Yeah, you have to do it back at your home base, but yes, at first you can only do one, but you get upgrades. And so yeah, between what is out there, like the trinket bag, like you have a satchel that carries all your trinkets. It's like there might be like 30 of them. Like there might be more than that, but there's a whole bunch that you can find. So, but like I said, I have 6 vials of health. And that's a huge difference maker.
Are there? You might not.
Hey, white lens.
You might not have looked, but are there accessibility features in the settings?
I should look. I did not look. You're right. What did I do? I didn't do anything. I didn't look. You're right. I should look into that. I don't know what's there.
I mean, as a game reviewer,
you're right.
Like, it's not for you, but obviously, but
I do.
As a reviewer,
I just haven't done it this time. But
Are
yes,
you
I have
be
plenty of
reviewing
time.
this.
I am personally reviewing this one. Yes. And I don't know if I can say when the review will be available, but yes, this review will be from me, and I guarantee by the time my review comes out, I'm aiming for embargo on this review. but I guarantee that I will not have seen and done everything the game has to offer, because there is that, mainline game stuff versus everything that's in the game. There's a lot more to do than is needed to be done to get to the end credits, at least how the game is explaining itself so far. And I feel like I've done and seen a lot. And as far as mainline progression goes, I've only done one major accomplishment. I beat the first major temple. And it was a lot of fun. I don't want to spoil it. It was a lot of fun. It was very enjoyable to go through. And that dungeon in particular has a whole side quest in it that you may not even see because you aren't paying attention. It's a little character that you can chase through levels of this dungeon, and then you will get something special for doing it, but it may be something you never even think of. They have like when you meet them, they have like one passing line where you're like, oh, do they mean that? So I was like on the lookout for something and saw that they meant what they said. So, but anyway, that's what I've been playing, and I will be playing a lot more. We have questions. Send your questions to GoNintPod@gmail.com.
Where?
GoNintPod@gmail.com.
Maybe I will.
They can be about Nintendo video games in general, whatever the hell you want. B Boogie has a question. Hey, podcast crew, a question for you. Before we begin, you may want to do some vocal exercises. Oh my God, I've been talking for 3 hours. Question: if your life was in danger and you had to accurately impersonate a sound, word, or phrase from a video game character in order to survive, what would you do?
Well, you're surviving, no problem.
Yeah,
I think I can do a pretty good Shmeh from Wind Waker Mapfish. I don't remember what he sounds like. Do you remember what he sounds like?
That's exactly what he sounds
okay.
like.
And I hope that is enough to keep me alive.
I thought you were saying that, and I'm like, how do you not know what he sounds like if you're saying that's going to keep you alive?
At first I thought you were talking about yourself, but you were reading.
I was reading one. Yes, it's SCHMEHH. That's how they wrote it. So.
You got to look up that video of me saying, "Sonic, we must defeat the egg."
Oh,
because
you mean
that's
the one I have saved on my phone.
Because that's
forever?
it. I mean, I don't know what it's from.
So that is not from a Sonic game, but that is from an animation that is Sonic related, and it is probably the most impressive personation you've ever done, and also, no joke, one of my favorite videos you've ever done. That's why I never deleted it.
I don't really think that there's anything that Ramit, savors is not the right word. He just loves, if there's a video or a picture of me that he's just in love with, it's so unflattering.
This is a universal thing for a lot of significant others. I want to point that out. They love when they get their partners in like awkward, quote unquote, ugly, weird, unkempt.
Like the other day, I came downstairs after like.
You keep talking. I'm going to put
like
some of these
first thing in the
Discord.
morning, and I was like a hot mess. And he was like, "You look so nice," and I was like,
it's the real
"What?"
Because it's the real you.
I was Mamie. Really, Mamie.
You got that picture of him? Looks like he's in his tomb. He's like this sleeping.
I mean, I think that's precious, but I don't think that's like. I'm not like, "Oh, you look so good."
Here we go. You're going to hear the cartoon version of Sonic, We Must Defeat the Egg. And Mom Brain is going to mimic it, I will say, to 98% perfection.
Well, that's
the first one was
really
real.
good.
The second one was Mom Brain. Amazing.
Wow, that's really good.
I don't think I could do it again.
So good. You've tried, and it's not that was your moment, right?
And you know what? I know for a fact that I did that on a Friday afternoon because I am wearing my Union shirt.
January 18th, 2018. Look up what day that was. We need one of those people who's like an idiot savant where they're like, that was a Friday.
January 18th?
January 12th, 2018. Radical Defect says, my Magikarp impression would save my life. Share it. You want me to share it on Patreon? I'm trying to think of what game impression I could do.
Oh, come on. I got one for you immediately.
Tell me. I'm blanking.
Anything. Well, I've got a specific. Are we going characters or are we going
whatever
sounds?
Whatever you want.
Because you can do almost any character from Streets of Rage 2, but you can do picking up a turkey in Streets of Rage 2 perfectly. I mean, that's from that's exactly it. But yeah, I would say
we
like
could all do Streets of Rage.
Like,
come
on,
yeah.
Whatever.
Ippo Amaguchi.
Oh, they're so
Swino bag. I wish I could do the guy's laugh with the knife.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, yes.
Do you think you could do a George impression?
it's not great, but here it is.
Wow.
Wow.
Spot on.
Wow.
Spot on.
That's pretty good.
Trying to think of what other. I mean, I do a lot of game impression stuff all the time. I'm just blanking on the top of my head, but we do like a Street Fighter stuff all the time. Perfect, and you know, the announcer stuff from Street Fighter and Toasty from Mortal Kombat, and there's so many. I mean, my whole life is filled with making game noises all the time.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Give me
think
some
of
Toe Jam and Earls.
Money.
That's
yeah,
my
all
favorite.
those are so
Aloha.
good.
Aloha. I mean, they're easy to do. For any-
We do that one a lot.
We do.
Mm. Wake up. Wake up.
That's the best.
God, they're good.
Wake up.
German.
I say that one a lot too.
Aloha.
Big Earl.
Do we have Big Earl?
No. German.
Yeah, all right.
I need to
We
be
do well
in
a lot.
real life situations to jog my memory because there are things that are said or done where I will automatically say stuff from video games and I'm just
Yeah.
blanking right now. But yes, hopefully we've given you enough. Mom Brain, I think, takes the cake because she, as you heard, she killed it. But
Yeah, but I don't think I could do it again.
I think our lives will be saved. I think we'll be okay. We also have a Patreon question. Mom Brain, did you know you can join the Patreon for the low price?
For $1.
For $1. Jake Tricks did, and they said, hope you all are doing well. What is something you find comedic in Star Wars? Well, jizz music, of course. Something that makes you laugh or gets a solid chuckle out of you to this day. Movie, TV series, book, comic, video game, everything is valid. Something in Star Wars that makes me laugh. Jizz does make me
Babu
laugh.
Freak.
But
He makes me
I
laugh.
do like Babu
Yeah,
Freak.
he's
He
good.
does get a
Laugh
chuckle
every
out of me.
time.
I gotta admit. I love
He's
Babu
scream,
Freak.
He's cute.
The yeah,
That one,
that
yeah.
gets me every time.
The acting in the second trilogy makes me laugh. I hate sand.
Oh
Of
yeah.
course, rough and it gets everywhere. Whatever he says,
Everywhere.
that is very funny. What makes me? Oh, you know what makes me laugh? That stormtrooper walking into the doors it's closing from the original movies.
Oh yeah, that's
laugh at that
funny.
every time. Love that because you can even hear him walk into it. That's
I
great.
always forget to look for it. It's funny how I missed it forever. Like my entire life, I missed it until like some video showed me. I always thought it was funny. In Empire Strikes Back, when you first see Yoda and he's digging through Luke's stuff, and there's a shot from behind Yoda where you can see his entire body and his butt is like working. And I don't know why I always remember that as
I need to go back.
really funny. But yeah, he's like digging through his stuff. And at the time, when you're watching it, I mean, obviously we know who Yoda is now, but at the time, Yoda's pretending to be like some annoying little freak,
Hey,
know?
TKO.
And Luke is like exasperated by him, and it's just like a funny scene, and it's even funnier. I find it even funnier to go back knowing who Yoda is and seeing this game that he's playing with Luke to like annoy him with his butt hanging out. Like
I can laugh at Yoda in general too. Just sometimes Yoda in the old movies looks funny and it's enjoyable. You know who I laugh at? That stupid conehead man that's on the council.
yeah,
The one that's hanging out with Samuel Jackson, or I'm sorry, Mace Windu and all that. Every time I see that guy, I laugh at that guy.
yeah, and I always
Underestimate the power of the dark side. The force is strong with this one.
Salacious Crumb says TKO. I love that.
Yeah.
Salacious Crumb, his laughing scream. Love that guy. Yep, he's the best. The little chained up man with Jabba the Hutt. What? Can't get enough of him.
Oh yeah, that guy's great.
Salacious B. Crumb. Love that guy. What a weirdo.
He is weird.
Trying to think what else. I mean, that's a lot of stuff. There's definitely things in there that are funny.
Yeah, there's funny stuff. They tried to put in I guess the latest trilogy, they have like a lot of those one-liners that I feel like aren't in the prequels and the original trilogy, like that kind of Marvel movieization of something happens and it's like, let's insert joke here
It's
kind of
like,
thing.
I
But those
don't know
aren't
if they fly now or whatever.
yeah, like
it says.
like that's an example. But like, I feel like there's jokes like that in it where some work and some don't. Like Finn in episode 7 or in 7, I love him. I think he's so funny in that. When he's like, "What do you a boyfriend? A cute boyfriend?" I don't know why I find that so funny. But like the next 2 movies like aren't that funny. They try a little bit hard to be funny in certain moments and it doesn't work as much. But there's something very something I loved about Daisy Ridley and the guy who plays Finn, the way they bounced off each other in that first movie. I really loved that.
I know what makes me laugh. And I laughed in the theater when I saw it. Darth Vader's no made me laugh. Because I was like, that is so terrible.
Yeah.
That no was so
Even
bad.
back then, it was
Yep.
bad.
I
It was
vividly remember laughing in the theater at that. I was like, that is very bad funny.
like,
So, one of the worst line deliveries I think I've ever heard. And that is crazy when you're talking about Star Wars movies, because there's some bad ones. But that I cannot believe that they passed off on that no. That no is so terrible. It became a meme because of it. It's just horrendous, but made me laugh. Thanks for the question, Jake Tricks. Now let's do music.
Ooh.
Send your music to GoNintPod@gmail.com.
where?
GoNintPod@gmail.com.
Maybe I will.
Put music in the title. Help out your
Oh.
local mom brain.
Wow.
Mom brain, you got some bangers for us this week?
Probably.
I got music. You want to hear it?
You wanna hear it?
Oh.
Wins. Goodbye, Discord.
Unicorn.
It's taking a long time to mow that grass.
I thought unicorns were so extinct.
Unicorn live in Banff. Okay, this one comes from Wired.
Yep.
Count that, please.
I did. I like it, but I don't know what it's from.
Me either.
Not first party.
Is that
Some RPG.
Are you giving up? I don't know if it's an RPG.
Can you tell me system?
GameCube.
Yeah, should have guessed that. Okay. You don't know if it's an RPG. Does the cover look like an RPG?
Maybe.
Tales of something.
No. Do you want me to look it up and see if it is?
No. Go ahead. I don't know. I'll
give
take
up.
the loss.
Evolution Worlds.
Can I look?
Sorry, I put it away.
No, it's cool. I'll look it up. That's not even ringing a bell for me.
Evolution Worlds of the GameCube.
Oh, that. Yes, it is an RPG. I know the cover, but I've never played it. Yeah, I don't even think I've heard any of the music.
You got the cover there? Can I see?
Sure do.
Oh.
I definitely know that cover. But I was not playing RPGs back then. So there you go. If you want to get me, go for GameCube RPGs.
Okay. Oh, never mind.
All the children in Springfield are RPGs.
This song comes from Streaks.
Streaks on a China. Oh, come
Never
on.
mattered before.
I'll let you go.
This is Ninja Gaiden 2, The Dark Sword of Chaos.
Or
Right?
just Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, maybe it is
Yeah.
the original.
Might be the same song in both games. which I
Also,
didn't
Streak
realize
says,
until
"Can Rami Cowboy give us a well-placed burp right about now?"
Was there supposed to be a burp related to the game? Because
think
I don't
so.
know about burping. Here's what I hear in the game.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
And then that, the like, with like the little metallic noises. What a great soundtrack.
Okay, that was 2.
And we got that one.
Okay.
I'm paying attention to scores so much now.
This one is from Mikey3319.
This is GBA.
Yes.
This is of a quality that's good enough to be first party, but I don't know it. It's first party? I'm going to eliminate Pokemon.
It's not Pokemon.
What the hell is this? Well, we'll go the spin-off route. Is it Mario?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. It's not an RPG.
Nope.
Is it a sports game?
I guess you could argue it is.
What does that mean?
I mean, it's not like a traditional athletics. You know, so like football.
Your
baseball.
answers are so weird, so now I got to think
Okay,
like
no,
you.
it's not a sport. It's
Okay.
not a sport.
Definitely.
Definitely.
It's not a Mario Party.
No.
It's not a Game & Watch or a Game Gal or whatever. It's not a Mario and Donkey Kong.
Nope.
It's like a random spin-off on GBA with Mario.
Yep.
Pinball?
Yep.
Man,
Mario Pinball Land.
Wow.
I can say this. I don't like it.
Here's one from PT.
Is this Game Boy Color? Oh, I know this. I think I know it. This has such a rare feeling to
Yep.
it. Yeah, so if it's on Game Boy Color and it's rare, it's got to be, what's it called? It's Disney. Mickey's Speedway. Mickey's Racing. Mickey's Racing Speedway.
Mickey's
Mickey's
Racing.
Speedway.
No.
Mickey's Racing Club.
No.
Mickey's Racing Adventure.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
Wow.
I own that game too, but that has such a rare feeling to it.
Amazing.
It was a good game.
Here's one from
It was like
Guy
RC
Bones.
Pro-Am, but with Disney
All right,
characters.
I'm listening. Man, this is kind of cool.
I think so too.
This has. Wait a little bit. Okay, yes. This has Japanese RPG written all over it.
I think so.
So that leaves a big blank spot for me. What system?
Switch.
Oh boy, that's some it doesn't sound like Persona. Is it Atlas?
Yes.
Oh, well then I've stumbled into what it will be. I just don't know what one exactly. Is it Shin Megami Tensei?
Yes.
I don't know what one at all.
I mean, I guess I can see it.
Something that says Nocturnal in it. Or
Nocturne.
Nocturne.
Yeah, you got it.
I mean, it's, I don't know what to
How
say.
do we,
It sounds like Japanese RPG
how do we
music.
take this on the road? We need to start selling tickets and put you on
Come
stage.
watch the freak.
Yeah. You should play any video game song. You'll know it.
This one comes from No Blades, No Bows.
Oh, I love it. It's a shmup. Oh, no. Wait a minute.
Sounds familiar.
It's funny that you say that because I'm having a... I haven't played this. Let me hear more. I'm almost positive I know the composer, and you know them. Personally? No. Biblically.
It's got like
I need to hear a little bit more.
Okay.
I need to hear like a breakdown. I'm pretty positive. Is this on the DS?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is. I'm getting goosebumps. You love this man too. Here's what I need to hear. Yeah, all right. This is definitely Yuzo Koshiro. Oh, you don't know that? It's Etrian Odyssey.
It is.
Wow.
I don't know what one. I've never played any of those games, but I've listened to all those soundtracks because I love Yuzo Koshiro.
It had like
and he's got that FM sound.
That's all I got is that Dream.
It had like a Castlevania flair to it. Like I could see playing a Castlevania game to that.
Sorry, it wouldn't be out of place in that. Yes, you should just listen to his Etrian Odyssey soundtracks. They're amazing. So
That was a
good.
great
You love
song.
his music.
I do.
So good. Again, I still wasn't playing RPGs at the time, but because of my respect for him, I listened to all the soundtracks and every one of them was great.
Amazing.
I would like to play those games. They play like dungeon crawlers. They play like vampire crawlers.
I was almost gonna say, like, I know it's not Vampire Crawlers, but I can see playing a Castlevania
They
or
play
a Vampire
exactly the same way.
Crawlers
You
to
walk
this.
through, the enemies walk up, they look the same. It's the same kind of thing, except you're charting the map as you go along.
Oh.
I want to play. They're on Switch. But anyway.
Okay, this one's from Slider64. It is not a Nintendo system,
Oh.
so I
What the hell's
apologize.
going on? That's that
Are you
Genesis
ghosting?
sound.
Yeah.
I know this because I borrowed this from a friend, a neighbor. God, that standard Genesis sound, in my opinion, is so bad. This is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
It is. Well,
Oh, the willy. I mean,
Widdly Wong.
yeah,
that's just what I was thinking.
I borrowed that from a friend or from a neighbor, and it was fine. I never played the Super Nintendo one. To tell you the truth, I don't know if it's the same game or not.
This one.
Gems, I think, is the sound engine on the Genesis. Basically, if you made a game on Genesis and you weren't putting, I don't want to say that, you weren't really interested in how the sound sounded, you went with the Gems sound font on Genesis or the sound suite, and that's how it sounded. Sometimes it could sound good. Vector Man used it and sounded good. If you hear bad Genesis music, that's it. That's what's to blame.
This one is from Pablo.
I know this definitely. Oh my God, why do I know this? This is a portable? Why am I blanking on this? I feel like I just heard music from this week. What did I hear
Is
this
it
week?
Capcom?
It's so familiar. Why am I blanking on this? Oh, it's Donkey Kong Land.
It is.
1 or 2? I don't 2. 1? Yeah. I did just listen to some of the soundtrack this week because it's got some original songs in it that are very good.
I got
Felt-
one left
man.
or 2 left.
2 left. Sitting on the school bus with my Game Boy Pocket playing those games. I don't think I've ever felt cooler.
Those were the days.
Here's one from
The
Tentavision.
sunlight on the bus ride home, man. Getting stabbed in the leg with a pencil by the kid you were sitting with. Well, 2 things. I don't know what this is, and I love it. This is fantastic. I got nothing on this one.
Yeah.
Can I have a system?
GameCube.
GameCube's hurting me today.
What was that?
Don't know. I got nothing.
I give up.
It is Doshin the Giant.
Oh, you jerks. That didn't release here. I mean, yes, it
It
counts.
looks
That
really
wins.
nice.
Yeah, I really wanted to play that. I was so excited to buy my 64 DD and play Doshin the Giant, and then it just never happened.
This one
This is the last one.
comes to us from With Love from Joe Shabadoo, who says more music to satisfy Pod's unquenchable thirst.
Thank you. I feel like I know this. I just don't know why. Do I know it, or does it just sound like something else?
I think you know it. Switch 1 and Switch 2.
Did I play it?
Not this particular version, but everyone at the table has played original.
All right, so it sounds like a sequel that we didn't play. Is that correct?
I guess.
I don't know what. I got no clue at all what this is.
I don't know either.
Did you play it?
Yeah.
Oh boy, that should really narrow it down. I can't even figure out what game this would be.
It's got to be first party then.
I really don't know if this is not signaling anything for me. I'll give up.
Yeah, I give up.
It is Suika Game Planet.
What? Really? Because I remember, I'm not.
According to
it's true.
Joe, this is the theme when you enter Super Evolution mode or whatever it's called.
Because I remember the song from Suika Game that you heard all the time being really bad. No, this is what? Here we go. This song is so bad for the puzzle game. Like for a game you just sit there and play. Yeah, this is what you hear in an insane asylum.
Or like a.
And that song's from the sequel. Wow, sounds like they really upped the music for the sequel.
Well, it was the only thing that needed improvement.
I played that game in silence. I hated that song so much. It's shocking that that's the song in a sequel. So good for them. Good for them. And that's music. We got 7 out of 10, 6 out of 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of 10 for the real number, 6 out of 9 for scoring with the heart. And that's it. We're done. That's all we got.
We are absolutely, totally, and
Score.
completely done. Yeah, we are completely finished.
Okay.
There.
Well,
The
thanks
end has arrived.
thanks
and
for watching.
now
Thanks for listening.
The time has come.
We'll see you next week.
My spiders and flies failed me this week.
That can't be true. That absolutely cannot be true.
Man, this is difficult. Where did they go this week?
Somebody put out a little saucer of sugar water. We got to attract them in. Make some noises for them.
I'm sweating over here. Seriously, like this has never happened.
Oh, we're not even plugged in here.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh!
Dew's Views. It's never news. Rumor of the week with Dew Michaels. There he is. There he is. So
Starring.
I just got handed a view of a Dew's view from a spider and or fly, and holy crap, was it close. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're familiar with Dew's Views, you know that we do this.
Do you know?
No. So yeah, we did it. So usually we have a rumor that a spider and a fly comes and gives to me because I sent them out previously. You guys know by now how it works. So there's one thing that I have to say about this rumor. It's a rumor you're never going to hear anywhere else because that's how Dew's Views works. But actually there's, oh my God, what's this on the note? This is something strange. It says here that this is actually true for first time ever, the true story of how this news became to be. Woo, it's good stuff. So be ready. Share this throughout the internet. Everybody knows this is definitely true. So we talked earlier about how Nintendo's pricing is changing a little bit, and they're going to offer one last incentive for people who want the Switch 2, and that incentive is choose your title. So there's 3 titles that have been announced. We said it was the Mario Kart World. We said it was Donkey Kong Bonanza, and then we said it was Pokepedia. And
I've seen everything.
Those 3 are joined now by a 4th game that you can get if you choose. So for $500, you could get a Switch 2 and Urban Champion, and this is definitely true. So
You gotta.
get your wallets ready, people.
I'm sorry, but Nintendo's crazy
We
for
got
this
a new
deal.
manga.
You're paying that much for Urban Champion? They're
It's-
saying Urban Champion's worth $30.
Spiders and the Fly say it's worth every penny.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
crazy.
I'm
In fact, pre-orders for it have sold out.
We're
So
watching the ticker.
you
Just
can't
Do I
even
have to be?
find them anywhere. So thank you very much to the Spiders and Flies for that very important information. And
Wow.
and yeah, thanks for being patient while I
Not gonna lie,
spit it
I'm
out
sweating
because
a
I
little.
wanted to make sure that everything here on
You gotta
GoNintendo, we want to make
verify-
sure everything is
Yeah,
perfect.
you got to verify the facts. I
So-
understand. I appreciate you doing your due diligence.
Holy
Thank you.
cow! My pants, like inside my
gonna
pants, are
lie, I'm
so
sweating
wet
a
right now.
Shoes got tight on that one. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Goodbye.
So, did you really forget?
I forgot. Not once did I think about
That's great.
that at all. Literally,
That
like
is
I don't
great.
know what happened.
That's very good. That's very good.
And I was
love
kind of like engaged this podcast. It wasn't like I wasn't paying attention to most of it, right? Like, wow.
No, yeah, you were good. This
the
Urban Champion gift from Blood Ocean, this is incredible. If Urban Champion was actually like that, I'd be all about it. Plus, we got some what is that? Fatal Fury, maybe, and we got Undertale in there, and I'm all about it. But yeah, Urban Champion, as I've said before, not exactly my favorite game that Nintendo's put out, but maybe there's a world out there where they could make it into something that I would enjoy. But that's it, everybody. We've done enough. 7 o'clock here on the dot, so we're
Wow,
getting
we
out
did
of here.
it.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games. Hang out with friends and family. Rest, relax. You deserve it. And we will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
bye-bye.